to take a trip, to cop out, to groove.
Yes.
The psychedelic jackets
KTI.
on the record albums have their own hidden
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimilla, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn.
And I'm your co-host, Mitch Chinasa.
And we got the kid in
What's going on?
at the Dunn studio.
Yeah.
In the dungeon. You're in
Yeah,
the
the
dungeon.
dungeon.
The dungeon.
The well-lit dungeon. And
Everything sounds
And KTI shows up in the nick of time
Man.
with 2 six-packs when we're like, oh man, we need to send someone for a beer run for the second
Wow.
show.
KTI, huh?
Kyle the
Yeah,
intern.
Yeah, I know.
you got that. You got that? I didn't
Yeah, I
even get
picked
that.
up on
I was
it.
all KT. What the?
I picked up on it.
So yes, the Kyle the intern, now known as KTI. Unbelievable.
Live and direct.
I swear to God, you read our minds. We were just like panicking. Show's
Like,
over.
Quite literally 2 minutes ago, Mitch was like, "We don't have any beer," and
The show's gonna be
Colby's
terrible.
are always needed.
It's not for the
Beer.
first show. It's for the second show.
Yeah.
It's more important.
It's 2:30 right now.
You know, we're a little bit. We're we're drinking coffee still. I think this
Yeah.
might be the official last coffee of my machine too.
That's terrible.
It died like right in the middle of it all. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize first for our crazy sporadic scheduling. I know
We now have the Seattle shows in hand. I physically have the SD card. I just got to go home and plug it in.
Nothing's smooth on the show. But now that we got the incredible intern, it's going to change. Actually, when I was in Seattle, people were telling me that they were yeah, those guys are on it. And I was like, yeah.
sure.
All right.
I mean, we had multiple because you guys were just like, bam, angles were going. You don't know. You don't listen to the show. Like, what do you
I do
care?
listen to the show.
You just squish.
I do listen to the show. I just
You're
don't
the
listen when
Dr.
it's
Squish.
live. I just
Dr.
don't
Squish,
listen
Dr.
to it
Squish.
'cause I'm here. But I'll be listening today when I leave. So
When you're squishing. Yeah.
when I'm squishing.
While you're squishing, but I got a lot of you got compliments
That's
right
awesome.
out of the gate.
That's awesome.
They saw the improvement. So improvement is going to be like 10,000 fold once we get to the new spot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
we're
serious.
going to keep playing that card.
Oh, yeah. There is a new spot. Believe me. I know everyone thinks I'm
It's
lying.
almost done.
I
No one
think you're
believe-
right at this point.
Nobody believes that we have a new spot.
It's tough to believe when
They're
we've
gonna
been talking about it for a while, though. You know what I mean? Like, long time.
We talk long time.
We
Yeah.
talk long time.
But it's looking really good. I went down the other day. The floors are painted.
Is there a logo on the floor?
No, not magically. No, we have to do that ourselves.
heard
But
we had to cover up the wall
they
mural.
did screw up on one of the rooms, though.
What'd they do?
We have 2 green rooms instead of a green and a gray and a black and a.
Come on, guys.
I know. Do we want to change it? Do we want to change it?
We'll talk about it later.
Talk about it later.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Figure that out. And so came back from Seattle. That was a pretty fun trip.
Talk about the club that you were in. Sounded awesome. You
was-
didn't even tell the kid about it.
It was from the Crop King guys out there. They
Calyx King?
Calyx King. I gotta make sure I get it right. Calyx King, which I got confused with Crop King. That's why I just confused myself again. Calyx King, which is a consulting company out there. It's a group of 3. I think it's 3 or 4 guys, and they have a restaurant. They have a restaurant out there where they have basically Mitch. I knew was going to be bummed out when I saw it, but they had a total speakeasy style room in the back with secret.
You go
entrance.
through a fake fireplace.
You go
You're
through a
like,
fireplace.
Is there a lever or something? How do you open
Just
that
push
wall?
you just push the whole thing through, but they have like a
It's a working fireplace.
working
You wouldn't know.
fireplace, but not a real
That's
fireplace.
cool.
It's one
Yeah,
of
right.
those.
It's like a fake
Looks-
one. Yeah, it just looks real.
But it was like,
Gotcha.
so we had like
Cool.
a little private room in the back where we could smoke and do our show.
That's awesome.
And we had Josh, he came through, and Ghost, and pretty much everybody we said. Exotic was there. It was awesome.
Nice.
Mike from
And
Exotic.
as a result, you talked to Oregon Kid and you met Ghost of Ghost OG, but didn't even realize it.
No, because at the very end we did some photos together, and it was like, yeah, get Ghost in the photo, and I was like, wait, Ghost, like, wow, I didn't even know you were
Like from
here.
our holiday special?
Not
He
like
was on
you-
again? Yeah, that was you.
I dressed as a ghost.
That's true,
But-
that was good. It was it got a little loud at the end. You guys will hear it.
We'll get it uploaded, yeah.
But it was really cool to kind of see everybody. Also, that area that they were in is like the little hipster cool spot of Seattle. It was definitely
cool.
yeah. So then I did my keynote speech. That was actually really cool. The thing is, like, it's when you go to these events, it's like everybody's at their own pace, and it seems like Seattle's kind of like. I wouldn't say they're behind by any means because everybody's kind of on the like some things are a little bit
Way
more
advanced, yeah.
Well, it's like advanced isn't really a good word because a lot of times it's like so simple. It's like, oh, you can smoke here? Wow, that's cool. Like that doesn't happen anymore. So but they're in their flux too. All their rules are changing, just like here. And speaking of which, before we do the big news, are we doing?
I got that as my news.
Is that part of the news?
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll just leave that in there. But obviously, a lot's going on in that world.
Yep. But the other great upshot is based on. I guess based on the brief interaction you had with Ghost, he's willing to come on the show today, which is something we've never been able to get Ghost before.
And that was also like literally what I thought after he left. I was like, well, there's another show.
Yeah.
So we can get it going right away. Which is awesome.
Yep. So we're going to have Ghost and Oregon Kid. I just got to hit them up when we're ready, but we'll do news. Let the kid get out of here. I'll move over to the hot seat, and we'll get all settled in.
Do you have a dab I can have, Adam?
No.
Really?
No.
No?
Not you.
No. Okay. You ready for news? Because we're stepping it up again. I finally decided to ask you for the files instead of using my phone. So.
Yeah, there you go.
What, you're going to push buttons?
Step it up.
So there's no chance of overlapping it, like to the point where I have to
it
repeat.
probably won't play another episode.
Oh, there's totally that.
No. Oh no, there's no episode after. It's just the theme song that I.
Wow,
so we're good.
Okay, I got some news. Go ahead. This one's from Think Progress. Eric Holder says it's time to talk about decriminalizing marijuana. That's the Attorney General. That's a pretty big deal, guys.
Yeah, but anyway. Tell the story and then I'll tell why it sucks.
In a newly published PBS Frontline interview, former Attorney General Eric Holder comes out in support of reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule I substance, a classification reserved for dangerous drugs that have no medical use, into a less restrictive category. I certainly think it ought to be rescheduled, Holder says. We treat marijuana in the same way that we treat heroin now, and that clearly is not appropriate. That's the Attorney General saying that. That's a pretty big deal. Former Attorney General.
Right, but somebody who was clearly knowing, that their job was to have to distinguish between what can kill you and what can't.
And now he doesn't have the job anymore, and all of a sudden, I see it. That statement goes a bit further than Holder's comments on marijuana when he was Attorney General. In September 2014, he said rescheduling the drug is, quote, something that I think we need to ask ourselves and use science as the basis for making that determination. So, what were you going to say, Adam?
Well, first of all, it should be it shouldn't be changed into a different category. It should just be completely taken out of it.
Alcohol.
Because that's bullshit right there. And the thing is that he had a chance to do it when he was there, and now he's not there with a zero chance of making it happen, and he's there going to tell us how.
I'm sure he's still friends with those people.
Yeah, but still, it's like a little late to the party, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And, and it's great. Oh, yeah, actually, it's totally... And did you see that... I don't know. I don't want to screw your news up.
I don't think I have
Did you see Dare took it off the
Dare
gateway?
did take it off the list of gateway drugs.
Right.
I forgot
So
that.
that's, like, classic where they're but very quietly.
Yeah, they didn't
like
make a big
announce
announcement.
it.
By the way,
Hey,
correction.
guys, all that information we told you, bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like they didn't mention that, but they did take it off. And they, as we look at it, we definitely don't consider it a gateway drug by any means. We consider it an exit drug.
Yeah, it's kind of like where I got
it's
in
not
and
even
where
a
I
drug.
stopped. It was
and if you're into
That's
anything
awesome.
else, that's a great way to get out of it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I think that people should classify it as, if anything.
For sure.
For sure.
Bastards.
Police seize almost 100 marijuana plants at an Arlington home. That's Arlington, Texas. It's a nice looking room. They got some tomato cages up in here. I mean, you can't see that much, but Arlington police seized dozens of marijuana plants Thursday at a home not far from where authorities busted an underground pot farm last month. Rodolfo Ernesto Mareo faces a charge of possession of marijuana. It's believed he was renting the house in the 2400 block of Sutton Drive, according to search warrant released by police. An Encore worker was called to the home Thursday to investigate whether electricity was being stolen there. While at the residence, the worker smelled the strong odor of marijuana coming from inside and called the police. Here's a hint. Don't steal. Oh, it's really funny. Actually, they have a... It's a nice house in like a nice residential neighborhood, but it's nighttime when they're doing the raid, and the garage door's open because they're doing the raid, and it's just like light pouring out.
Cartel related, you think? Arlington, Texas, a clearly Hispanic man. And
This is getting
No,
racist.
it's
There's
not.
a lot
No,
of
it's
Hispanic
not.
people in
Stop.
Texas
Come on.
who are unrelated to the cartel.
But that's
You're
what I'm
aware of
asking.
that, right?
Do you think that it's cartel?
It's not really their steez. They don't really do it indoor.
Not in the house.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
that was racist.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
No, it
it
wasn't.
was.
No, it's only racist if you make
What do you
it
think,
racist.
Kyle? Is that racist?
Was that racist?
To assume that because the man
I didn't
was...
assume. I asked.
You know, he's just asking questions.
Yeah, I'm not racist.
He's just curious.
He's just curious.
He's just asking questions.
There's a fine line between being curious
All
and
right, well, that
racist.
story's over.
Don't worry, there'll be another one.
So this is funny because I'm gonna. There's like a series of stories here, because they all changed around, and I'm gonna read them in order because we didn't get to cover all. So we're gonna have to.
Nice. This is the big one.
Yeah, this is the big one. Yeah. So this one
You gonna do the old one first?
on February 23rd, U.S. Cannabis Cup coming to Pueblo County.
What?
Whoa! This was announced just 3 days ago. It's in the newspaper. Cool.
Yeah.
One of Colorado's largest marijuana celebrations has now set its sights on Pueblo.
I think the first thing you do in any kind of situation is never announce anything until you get that paper.
Well,
signed.
let's read the story.
All right. Well, that's all I'm saying.
So 3 days ago, the U.S. Cannabis Cup is in the permitting process with Pueblo County right now after Adams County commissioners denied the event last week. The U.S. Cannabis Cup is expected to bring 17,000 people a day to Pueblo to celebrate the unofficial marijuana holiday of 420 this year. Organizers from High Times Magazine say it will make a big impact across southern Colorado, but not everyone is thrilled by the prospect. Billed as, quote, the biggest 420 party on the planet, the U.S. Cannabis Cup brings together marijuana entrepreneurs and enthusiasts from all over the country and beyond for 3 days. Previously held at the Denver Mart, Adams County decided this year High Times would have to find a new venue, citing concerns with overcrowding, attendee conduct, and vendors handing out and selling marijuana illegally. The organizers looked farther south, where marijuana has become a cash crop. Quote, because of its climate, because of its large open space, because of its tolerant nature, says High Times Advertising and Sponsorship Director Matt Stang. Quote, I think it's a good chance for Pueblo's economy to really boost, as well as for Pueblo to demonstrate that we have a lot more to offer than just quality marijuana, says Chris Jones, Operations Manager at Marisol Therapeutics. So this was 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
We got announced that they were going to do it at this place called Bands in the Backyard. They're going to do it down in Pueblo. It was going to be 3 days instead of 5. Not quite Denver, but whatever.
Actually, I was actually happy with that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, cool. We can still do 420 here, and everybody will be
Right.
kind of like it could definitely work.
Right.
And then, if you want to news again.
News.
So we have a whole nother. There's a whole nother.
Oh
story.
yeah, this is a multi news.
Yesterday, Cannabis Cup dates moved. 420 celebrations in Pueblo may need to be delayed a couple of days because the new start date for Cannabis Cup now slated to start on April 22nd. A full application has yet to be submitted by High Times for the Cannabis Cup, but in order to fit into the application requirements, the county tells us High Times has pushed the date back. The county is still working to gather all of the information needed to make an informed decision about the event that could be held in the Bands in the Backyard venue. And a note that's not in the article is High Times has since pulled it from the website. It's not listed anymore.
Okay.
So
then there's another one.
no, that's it. That's the current situation.
So there's no cup.
No, they don't know.
It may be on the 22nd in Pueblo instead of everything else.
Ouch.
You know, I still don't know. UK.
And I just want to say, and I do want to double check, I did reach out to High Times for a comment. I haven't received a comment back on anything official from them, but if we do receive anything, obviously we'll bring it in.
Right. I'm just surprised at Adams County, to be honest. Not necessarily surprised at Denver Mart because it's a small spot. It's kind of tough to fit all those people in there, and then the traffic on right there where 70 and 25 merges is already terrible, and it's dangerous, and I get it, but man, Adams County, you fucked up. I mean, you just lost so much money.
Well, Pueblo, all the
Even
more.
Pueblo,
Like,
too.
One was, and you know, it may work out with Pueblo, but the issue in both places has been the sheriffs came out and were like, no, we don't. You know, like whenever the planning board or whoever has to issue the event permit, they have to ask the sheriff, and the sheriff's going, no, we don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, and if there's no Colorado Cup, then shame on Colorado, if you ask me.
That would be crazy. That would literally be like the fastest.
Like no Amsterdam.
Yeah, well, like Amsterdam had at least a good run. You know what I mean?
Good
We
20
had,
some odd years.
we had 20 plus years, and then all of a sudden, bam, shut down, and it's over, and now it's not there, and that town is
as
feeling
soon as they say no
feeling it
one
hard.
year, that's just gonna be their preference every single year. Is to just continue to say no because like, oh, we said it last year. You know what? No, we're not.
Yeah, they're not going to be like,
Somebody
oh, you
will
know, we
say
thought
yes,
about
though.
it again.
Right. Yeah,
Somebody will say yes.
Somebody
Some
might
county
end up
will.
saying
Some
yes.
sheriff will say yeah.
I don't know about that in Colorado. I mean, I feel like this is an organized effort, and the news was announced on the same day that they announced that they were going to not hear the license for the temporary event license, temporary smoking event license that was supposed to be scheduled for hearing, and now they've pushed back the hearing indefinitely.
Yeah, it's amazing that we can't get over this. It's like come on, guys. You know, like all the facts are there.
What do you
as far-
guys want to do with this legal herb? You want to smoke it? Oh, no.
You know, and it's literally like the last sort of little twist of the knife that they can kind of throw at us. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, yeah, you guys got your weed. Go ahead.
But
man.
they will
They'll
close
Wait.
down roads and blocks and streets and neighborhoods for beer festivals.
It's amazing. I know. And that's the thing is that alcohol is so proven to cause so many fights and cause so much
Oh
problems.
yeah, dude! When
And-
you have
and
an entire neighborhood shut down,
And on
that
top
you
of
can't even
that,
drive through with people getting hammered.
physically ruining people. I mean, people puking in the streets.
And they're not gonna,
you know what
like-
I mean? And
here's
it's
the
like,
thing.
at the end of the day, it's like,
They're not cleaning up after themselves either.
Broncos won the Super Bowl and they rioted. No
They
one's
lit-
talking about banning Broncos.
They lit stuff
Yeah.
on fire.
They rioted,
You're
turned
right.
cars over, lit stuff on fire, and no
And
one's
it
even
was-
remotely discussing
for
it.
winning.
Banning
Exactly, for
football.
winning. So if they lost, it would have been even worse. You know?
Yeah.
Been terrible.
No one's like, all right, we should get football out of Denver.
No, and that's crazy. Well, you know, and it's the double standard with the beer thing, which drives me nuts with the mayor. Or,
Right.
You know, it's like with the governor or whatever. It's just like, come on, guys. Like, really? I mean, you're going to promote that, and people have no problem with it.
Yep.
It's weird. It's fun to be here because of the fact that it's just like it's going to be so weird in 10 or 15 years. We're going to be like, what were they thinking?
What the
like,
hell was
how did-
going on?
You know,
Yeah.
and it's just good that we're here to document.
For sure.
It's cool. That's, I think of us
Yeah.
as like we're on the last days of Prohibition. This is
It
like
is.
dispatches.
which
from
is
the end of
which
Prohibition.
I think back in the day when you saw how you knew people were partying like nuts when Prohibition was over, like
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean,
like alcohol prohibition.
and the funny thing with cannabis is like our version of going nuts is like
Chill in the house, smoking
sitting around a
bowls.
table with a bunch of people doing dabs,
Doing dabs.
like under a tent or something in a place. You know what I mean? No one's
Watching
going.
Cheech and Chong doing absolutely nothing harmful to anybody, including ourselves.
Well, you know, and the reality, and like, and we might have some more as it progresses. I mean, if they would, the problem is it's always insurance, right? It's always like yeah, let's have these guys, and we'll do. No, you can't do that. Insurance, you know, and there's like buzzkill on everything when it comes to trying to get a lot of people together to do a party.
Yeah.
But it seems weird. It's like whenever there's alcohol, it's like that. Those ads when they have like everything's great. Like all of a sudden, things are fucking flying out of this thing. Whoa, yeah, party! Everybody's partying like nuts. And with weed, it's like they don't want that to ever be possible. Like no, you must sit in your house by yourself and be depressed. You know what was the weirdest rule was up in Seattle was the no pass the joint rule because you can't. Inside your own house,
You can't share.
You're not allowed to share it with your own partner in your own house legally. Like that's the way the law was written. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" They're like, "Oh yeah, by the way,
That's crazy.
you shouldn't really pass them around too much." Because
If somebody's watching you,
I'm like,
and you get caught
"What?
passing.
Like that is."
So-
I like that.
Throw it
rule.
on the
I think
ground.
my
you like that
question-
rule? 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
like
'cause you're a
smoking it to the
snob.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's mine, bro.
I think my question is how
No,
come
you like that
But
too.
in your own house, that is crazy.
with how long they've been doing this and how much money they made, why is High Times not going to the 5 states that they do these cups in and just bought areas of land for themselves that they can then call a private facility? They can do whatever the fuck they want there.
I think part of it is like advertising the event and selling tickets is the issue.
because you can't sell tickets.
Right. If it
in
was
that
an
case.
invitation and they said, "Hey, you people, here's an invitation that I sent to your house. Please come here. It's free." Yeah, they could do that, but I don't think they have any interest in doing
No,
it.
but why can't they?
Do
If
you have an
they,
extra dabber, Adam?
all they would have to
I'm gonna
do
get
is
this.
own the event location. If they allowed other events there as well, and then
You
just
still
also,
have to get a permit though, even on private
right.
land.
That's true. Yeah, I guess you do need a permit.
That's
from
what
the
I was
county.
looking into because the amount of traffic and people and facilities. If you're serving food there, you need a permit. All this stuff. So if you need a permit, the cops they're going to ask the cops, and the cops are going to say no.
Fuck the police.
Now, if you did it without selling food, you could theoretically do it.
Fuck that though. They make
Yeah,
so
50,000
much money.
hungry stone people.
I gave the lemonade stand in fucking San Bernardino at least $100.
Jesus Christ.
Food's where it's at.
Dude,
yeah,
the
lemonade.
lemonade
You
was
could have made a
fucking
lemonade
good,
stand
bro.
for $100 and made like $1,000
I know,
off
but
that.
the lemonade was good.
The lemonade, was it medicated?
No, it was just regular. But I
You
did
paid
get
$100 for non-medicated
Well, no,
lemonade.
I probably got about 10 of them, and they're about $8 a piece.
$10
Plus
a
tips.
Yeah.
lemonade?
Well, there's 2 of us.
Jesus, so how big
So
are
I
these
got 5.
lemonades?
They're 24 ounce.
24 ounce.
Ice? You get them with ice? You got to get them no
Yeah,
ice.
but
Yeah.
you go light ice because then you get more lemonade.
Right.
Wow, you have that shit
After a while, they
dialed,
stopped.
dialed
He's
in.
clearly
Nope.
been to San Bernardino. a few
After a
times.
while,
Not
it's
his
just
first
like, no, we
rodeo.
give the same amount of ice. For everyone. Okay. But yeah, you got to go light ice. Light ice lemonade.
So that was it with the
Blueberry.
news? That was it? Wait,
That was it.
No, come on.
Yes.
Nothing else happened.
Nope.
The cup came and it didn't happen. And
Nothing
then,
else
oh
happened.
my God.
I
thought
thought
something-
The intern didn't give me anything.
Oh, yeah, what happened with that?
He brought beers.
I think there's an email in there.
He brought beers.
Is there?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold on.
But that news is old news. That's old news now.
It's
old news.
It was a recent email.
He brought beers.
He did bring beers.
I know the beers are just Trump. I can't say Trump anymore. Can't say the word.
Can't use the word.
can't
Oh
use the
wait,
word-
he did send it to me at 1:24 p.m.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. Yeah.
Pow.
Holy
So
shit!
we got another one?
We got
there's a
fucking a
few.
ton of them. KTI,
KTI.
Let's
he
hope
is
it's good
killing
now.
it. Killing the internship is what it stands for now. Student jailed for consuming hashish at home. What? In Dubai.
Oh well, that happens. Yeah,
duh.
anything.
That happens.
That happens.
India.
A student has been... No, Dubai is not India.
Where is it?
Dubai is Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Little
You don't want to
more,
get caught in
yeah.
Saudi
Close.
Arabia.
It's the
I thought
same.
they love
So-
weed there.
That was a little unfortunately racist, and I take it back. They're not the same.
No.
They are not
You said
the
they were the same?
Yeah, but
That's
they're
not
not.
No, totally not. I
They're
don't
not
think
the same. I don't think that, and it's nor is it the views of
they're
the
gold
Adam
though. They have a
Show.
lot of.
Nor is it.
They
So
both like
dark
gold. They
ocean
do like
Atlantic.
they
Love
do
gold.
both like gold.
Yes.
One is
And
like
oil.
real
Gold and oil.
and one's real gold, and the other's
that-
just like a bunch of cheap,
Mitch loves
shitty gold
too,
that
'cause
looks
he's
like
Persian.
Yes, the same area.
Mitch
That's how you know.
loves gold.
Gold. Yeah,
Persian
same
gold.
area.
Gold
yeah.
and rugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, same area.
Yes.
A student has been jailed for 4 years for
That's
consuming
racist.
hashish after drug enforcement officer apprehended him at his residence in Dubai Sports City. Dubai First Court of Instance
How much
convicted
did he
the
eat?
25-year-old. Oh, he's Nigerian.
Is
He's
it
black.
Dubai or Dubai?
Dubai.
Dubai,
Yeah.
not Dubai.
Convicted the 25-year-old
Doobie.
Nigerian student of consuming hashish despite having entered a not guilty plea. His lawyer has requested the court acquit her client of using hashish because the drug enforcement officers apprehended him 90 minutes before obtaining a warrant. Yeah, that's not going to work in Saudi Arabia. They don't even have rules.
Yeah, who cares? They're just
How
gonna
many
be like,
lashings
"Oh,
did he
what?"
get?
They're going to eat that piece of paper and be like, that piece of paper is
You
gone.
don't want to get caught with anything.
So this
in
guy's
Saudi
going to get
Arabia.
hanged.
Wait, hold on.
He'll
But
get
that's
Yeah,
not
4 years.
racist.
what?
They assume that they still get lashings over.
No, they have
life.
Sharia law there.
Fuck
That's
yeah,
their
they get
legal
lashings.
system, bud.
Wait, no, for real?
Yes.
They get
For
lashes
reals.
if you
Yes.
fuck up.
Yes.
Yes. What'd you think?
I want to stay in America for a little while.
He's getting 4 years for smoking.
4 years
years
and
lashes?
and
I
lashes.
don't
4
know
years
about lashes,
of
but he's getting
lashes?
4
Whoa, this is a
years,
good
though.
one. News.
News. Get it up. Oh, you forgot how to do it? Come on. What?
Medical marijuana legalized in Australia.
I did hear about that.
Between it,
What side? Top, northern Australia, southern
The whole
Australia?
thing.
Australian Parliament
Everything.
passed a measure Wednesday legalizing medical marijuana.
Yes.
The amendments to the Narcotic Drugs Act will allow cannabis to be legally grown for medical and scientific purposes for the first time in Australia. This is an historic. So, med duck's foot weed for everybody, right? That's
Yep. Duck foot
that's
for-
duck foot all around. Cool.
No, it's-
I got one too.
I mean, they always had like in southern Australia, they always had like 7-plant kind of rules and stuff. So,
Yeah.
So they were pretty cool in that area. But then if you went to northern Australia, they were like super douchey.
Pennsylvania's voting in March.
Which part? But Eastern Pennsylvania? Or
No,
what?
but you don't know.
Well, you're breaking
Remember
up a
how they
whole of
said-
Australia.
No,
like it was
remember
like
they said that the southern Australia was a little bit more lenient on marijuana than northern Australia was in the beginning.
News.
Did you just listen to me or what? That's what I just said.
Anyway, but
news,
Pennsylvania's
news.
going to be voting
Voting.
in March for shitty. You can't smoke it or anything. It's just got to be edible. For
New
you.
York style.
I saw it.
Colorado officials issue pesticides warning on XG Platinum grown pot. What's XG
what's
Platinum?
XG Platinum?
XG Platinum Corporation.
Oh,
Never heard of it.
who's
Yeah,
that?
They're just handing these down, man. These pesticides warnings are going all over the place.
These guys
I
got
don't
caught with pesticides?
Guardian, probably.
No.
I meant to read this one though.
No.
Community packs town hall to support cannabis clubs.
Oh man, yeah, that
down
was,
in Colorado Springs.
Did you listen to it? I listened to it. It was
No.
pretty awesome.
Was it good?
People were pissed, dude. Pissed.
Like the
Vets,
attendees?
Yeah, like vets, I'll serve my country. Like
Yeah.
it was going down like that. It was getting all crazy. This whole court's out of order. There's a few of those moments going on. Like, and people had to
You're all corrupt.
yeah, it was. I mean, the people are all amped up. There's a little bit of a. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, well,
Dude, is this still the dry sift from Emerald Cup?
yep.
Wow.
So, yeah. Gotta save those.
No,
things.
I'm the saver. I had the freezer full of Adzi weed. I also agree with saving.
You're the hoarder, actually. You're more of a hoarder.
What's the difference?
I just have tiny little smidges.
Oh, I
you
see.
have a freezer
He
full
hoards,
of all
yeah,
the
he
weed.
hoards.
That's the difference.
It all got ruined with steak juice and went rotten, so it got thrown out.
Are we all through with news?
He should
news,
be in
news?
No.
More
No.
news?
Oh, so what we were just.
You were talking about Colorado Springs in the meeting and the angry
Oh yeah,
vets.
no, they were going nuts, and I was hoping to hear Jedder on there, but it was a news episode, so it was just select. but I believe that they're not going to get very far with the idea of actually the donating money for weed and all. Like you can't
sell weed.
You can't sell weed. So if they're
I was corrected. Dubai is United Arab Emirates, not Saudi Arabia.
you were wrong too.
So yes, I was.
Everybody's
but
wrong.
they both have the word Arab in it, whereas India is a totally different culture.
Very different.
Yeah.
But no, they're gonna if they just if the clubs would understand that letting people smoke weed in your club should definitely be possible. But selling weed in your club is not going to happen. I'm sorry, just because there is
because they already figured out a way to do that,
and there's a legal framework
saying,
here.
Yeah.
It's not like we're in the zone of total Wild West back in the day. Now, back in the day, you would have been more structured than your average drug dealer, let's say. So
right, if there weren't dispensaries,
but
you
now
could make
there
a strong
is.
pitch.
Exactly, but I think that they're kind of expecting too much if they think they're going to get away with keeping it the way it is. But hopefully they can get away with having 15 smoking clubs down there, because if that happens, that'll maybe set some precedent for the rest of the state. Where, Denver, get your head out of your ass. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Other cities are looking at Denver, and if they do that and it just turns into the state you can buy that sells hundreds of thousands of pounds of weed, and there's not one single legal place to smoke it except for the homes of the people who live here.
At least you can pass joints there.
Then it's exactly like Amsterdam, where the biggest problem with Amsterdam was that people would come there and they go, wow, this is great. How does it work? And you'd say, well, and that's not a good way to fucking do it. That's not the way you want to do it. It has to be clear, fucking cut. So if people go, so where does all this weed go? And they go, yes, it all gets consumed in legal places that don't exist. Then it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Then we're creating anybody who says, like any other state that's like, oh, we have tons of weed coming over. It's not. It's probably not true. There's probably not tons. There probably already was weed coming through, but it gives them the ability to, like, there's a reason that you're doing it because there's nowhere to smoke with fucking stuff. So I have to take it home with me or whatever. And then it's just, I don't know. It turns into very convoluted. And I think if you have look at how much money Amsterdam makes on their fucking coffee shops, and not on the weed, just on the rest of the stuff. They make a lot of money. Like, it adds up. When you have 1,000 people come through your place and they all buy a $6 coffee, and you made $6,000 on coffee, and it costs you like $200 to make it.
Oh my god! I bought so many €5 mint teas.
Yeah, the profit margins are so huge. Yeah, tea. That's like it costs you 13 cents, and you made $5, and it's pure profit. So those things, they add up. People do buy weed, but they also have to drink and eat, and there's all these other things.
For me in Amsterdam, that's what you're traveling around. You can't smoke in your hotel or your hostel. Yeah. It's not. You can, but it's not cool. And you go to a coffee shop, smoke. You don't necessarily even buy anything.
And also like the hotels with the fucking $250 smoking charge. That shit, it gets outrageous because as a weed smoker, we're easier to catch than anybody because
even if we haven't smoked, you just smell.
Yeah, people get caught all the time because they have. People have gotten fined because they had shatter in their room. I mean, how much of that shit? That doesn't smell like... And like a little piece got stuck on the fucking thing, and they were like, oh,
you're smoking in your room.
What is this? Smoking in the room? And they know, of course, shatter is going to stick there and be like kind of a bitch. So as a cleaner, you're like, what the fuck is up with these people? So they got, you put down your dabber 10 times on the table, and you don't think about it because you're not cleaning it up because it's not your deal. And that lady comes in and just does one little wipe, and she thinks like, what the fuck? Like, it's like all stuck to the thing. So $250 charge right there for bullshit. You know what I mean? And I've seen that happen to a bunch of
Michael Manning says he got fined for having an ounce in his luggage. They said he smoked in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
I got fined for having a bunch of herb in a suitcase in Cali.
Exactly, and it's bullshit. So, I mean, that kind of stuff, there's an excuse. I mean, there's no excuse the minute you have a place to go smoke. And you're just like, why aren't you just go to the spot and smoke where you're supposed to be? And without that.
Just like cigarettes. There's a smoking kiosk somewhere. You go smoke there. You're not allowed to smoke everywhere else. There's a place for you. Go smoke by that podium.
Yeah, I mean, and smokers only had the fucking free reign for years, like smoking in everywhere. Cigarettes. It didn't matter where they smoked. Now they're being fucking forced to be in shitty zones outside in the rain and all that.
Sometimes they have nice zones.
Sometimes they're nice.
But usually
I don't think they're very nice. Usually, they usually smell pretty bad.
Yeah. You want to take the reins over here for when Skype calls in?
I'm gonna let him call in, and then I'll hop over there. They're kind of Oregon kid just got to Ghost's house.
Nice.
They're getting ready. They're gonna shoot me a message.
All you need to do is slide this fader here on the left.
All right, so you're kicking me out now.
You're basically moving. Yeah, he's out of here.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. I'll leave it a little slid.
K-Dash says he got fined at the Emerald Cup. Like, at the Cup? I don't believe that. Anyone got fined at the event for smoking weed. I don't believe that.
We don't believe you.
You mean you got fined?
There's
Chris
just private
K-Dash,
security there.
you know what was great about Chris K-Dash? is that after San Bernardino, where we left and we had our own cup story, he had a big story that we never got to share, which was that Ghostface Killah apparently skipped out on his bill at IHOP on 2 nights. I don't know if he got conclusion on that. But K-Dash, let us know whatever happened with the Ghostface skipping out on his bill. I know that you tracked down the waitress and were calling her the next week to find out if that was in fact true. Because I didn't
You're
see
talking about just like a meal at IHOP.
Straight up, 2 different nights.
2 nights.
Well, apparently, basically, he didn't just like leave. He complained about how shit was wrong or whatever.
So he did the proper way to not.
Yeah,
to just,
but you do it once and you're cool.
Yeah.
You do it 2 times.
and IHOP of all places.
I think it was IHOP.
It's like
maybe it was
you're not really
Denny's.
getting much money. You're not getting much value out of that. It's like not a very good value meal, even though it's
Not-
like,
Oh, I just reminded him. Chris, you never even called Jess, the waitress? Come on. He recorded a phone call of him calling this IHOP asking for the waitress by name.
Nice. Well, maybe you can call her now. And we can
Yeah,
get it live
yeah,
on the
yeah.
air.
You
Do
wanna
it live
do
on
that?
the air. Do it live on the air.
You want to do it live on the air, Chris? Let me know. We can make that happen.
That would be good. We'd do our
He'll call tonight. They said she works on the weekend.
Okay.
All right. Record that shit and we'll drop it on the air.
We're gonna
We'll
be here till
TMZ it.
we're gonna be here till a little later.
Yeah, actually, we will be here. She
Not
might
super
show
late.
up to start her shift before we leave for
Catch
the
her when she's
recorded
fresh.
show.
That's
Yeah.
gonna make her shift.
Yeah.
Set the trap.
Set the trap. He forgot. How do you forget about that? He was like, it's all he was talking about for at least the 2 hours I was on Facebook one day in an
one
airport.
time.
In
For
an
the-
airport, yeah.
So you were all about you were all up in his biz at that point. You were like, what's someone doing? Chris's? Oh my god, this is serious.
This is good.
This is
Ghostface Killah skipped out on his bill allegedly 2 nights.
Maybe those goons from what's his name, Shkreli's goons
set him up.
Oh, it's total conspiracy.
I don't know, dude. Well, so did you see?
I'm just not impressed with the IHOP part. I mean,
Wait,
I can see
hold
if it was
on.
like Elway's. He went to Elway's 2 nights in a row.
Apparently, multiple people were there.
Multiple. So he got a big table and they all just bailed on
No,
it.
yes, but also like there were multiple cup goers at the IHOP because it was right near where the cup was. That's what I'm saying. Like a bunch of people posted that they saw it happen. K-Dash wasn't there. He got it on the digital streets.
The digi
streets.
Is he going to switch over? Or what are you doing?
I guess I'm going to switch over. You want to talk while I do that?
I'll talk. I'll guide you over. How's that? I'll make sure. See, you got to watch out because during this procedure, he gets up. Oh, see that upper body? See the larger upper body? Proportional. You can see it on the camera too. He's very big on the top, very small on the bottom. Like you were in jail or something. Were you in jail? You didn't get that from it's not your jail.
Like I was in jail.
But you have that total like, hey, this guy went to jail because look, he worked out, but he never did his legs. Yeah, because nobody does legs. So
No, because you're vulnerable if you do legs.
exactly, they come up and shank you at that moment.
Yeah.
So you never
Push-ups
But
and
yeah, you
pull-ups.
really got it bad. Yeah, so it's funny. And you wear shorts all the time, so it's even better. Now that
Shorts are better
everyone
than
knows,
skinny jeans. If I
Now-
wear skinny jeans, it's ridiculous.
that's ridiculous. That's not. You can't do that. That's like a cartoon character.
If they're like dark skin, I will try them on in the store just for the ridiculousness of it. Yes, it's
Good. Now I get to see the fucking things because I didn't pull up the chat on my phone.
News. ArcView Canopy had to postpone their first California class due to lack of interest. Meanwhile, their competitor Gateway got more than 120 apps. I don't know what that is.
That's news.
Yeah, I got that.
So
That's less interesting than Ghostface skipping out on the jank and IHOP app. But the whole thing why Ghostface is relevant here is, have you seen the Woogu thing?
well, we saw it there. I mean, you mean as far as the product?
Now,
or-
then, did you see the viral video he released the following week, in which that's his comeback at Martin Shkreli?
oh, really? No,
You haven't seen this? Oh my
no.
god,
That's not so good though. That's not a good thing.
It's hysterical because
Oh, is that when his mom's came out?
Yeah,
I did see that.
Yes.
I didn't like. It was
and it's
really
a
long.
promotion.
It
Yes, and
was
then it's a
terrible.
promotional video for Woogu. It's awful.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And I don't know.
And she was like yelling at.
Hold
the-
on.
Oh,
No
man, that was
disrespect
bad.
to Ghost. I want to lay that out because
Of
I'm not
course.
trying. I'm
No,
not
no.
trying by any means to diminish that man, but
But it just wasn't a very, very strong.
it muddled the
comeback.
message.
Yeah.
It muddled the message. It was like, on the one point, yeah, Martin Shkreli is dick. On the other point, Woogu is awesome. But those don't have really. I don't see the connection. I see that there's a medical.
Well, the medical kind of
sort of.
We're going to give. I mean, he could have came out with like, for the masses, but
That's what he said.
Well,
That's the theme of it.
I did, but I mean, at the same time, it wasn't as strong when you got pineapple and coconut flavored bullshit pens
Right.
that are like, that is not good medicine. I'm sorry, that's like fucking crap. Like, why did you go for the I don't know, just people haven't got the right idea when it comes to like, if you're going to market something, especially when you've got a one shot, it's really a one shot deal at the beginning right now. We're in that like everyone's throwing down. With Wiz Khalifa went with
River
Rock
Rock.
here, and that didn't make any sense, because there's no. And did you see that thing? Did you see that? I thought it was something from Bike because it was so ridiculous. It was like 3 people going like, yeah, and they were like, what was that? And it was like had nothing to do with Wiz, not a photo of Wiz. It was a photo of 3 people. And it says Wiz Khalifa now joins up with River Rock, and then they had these like marketing team of people like standing there going, "Yeah!"
Oh,
And it was like
the stock photo. Of
yeah, it was
excited people.
total stock photo of
Yeah.
3 excited people,
Excited hipster on
Yeah.
stock photos.
totally. And I was like, "That's somebody Bike must have put in there just to make fun of it, right?"
Yeah.
And it was like, "No, I think that's actually the ad." I was like, "Oh my, what? Like, why would you do that?" And then obviously Live Well with Snoop. That was like.
Leaves by Snoop.
The Leaves by Snoop, we agreed, I think, was semi-clever with the
I like the
LDS.
packaging.
And
I like the way...
It wasn't bad. And they had the little snap-off royal sort of...
It was cool.
Jewel-shaped things. There was a
Yeah.
few decent things. But then the company itself, just literally is in the fucking news for poisoning...
Live Well specifically, yeah.
For poisoning in the paper is what they'll say, but... Obviously getting people high, but getting kids high and getting people that didn't know they were getting high at the state fair, and then you're going to have a class action
Snoop
lawsuit.
might support that.
Well, class action lawsuit around the corner.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you
Well,
want
the
to?
other thing is...
Why would you even want to get near those people? Be like, nah, dude, I don't want to be associated with people who can't even tell the difference between medicated and not medicated stuff and bring it to the show and
they
give it
were
out to everybody.
The
and
same people who got busted on the largest pesticide hold in the state.
Right. So, I mean, it was just all the way around. It's like, come on, do your homework, please. And then the funny part was, Ricky, who's our buddy,
Yeah.
he was in the dark about who they were working with, and when he found out, he couldn't believe it either. And
Because he knows. He would have told them that's crazy.
exactly, and he would have been like, and again, it was like, we got people here. What's up? Just
Talk
I don't
to
know.
us.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like, and in the the same sense. Even wasn't it like didn't even Rihanna come up with some?
Yeah,
thing? I
Rihanna
mean, it's like,
is working on something.
I mean, it's like,
Hold on.
I would like to see these people in the garden for like 5 minutes, please. At least, doing something.
Here's my
like,
point,
come
though.
in there, hang out with us, like, get to
Even-
know what the fuck you're
Even if
promoting.
they just come and through the breeding process, smoke it and be like, well, I like this about this, and I like this about this, and I want to get this a little more, and they're really just helping you. Like they don't know how to sew clothing, but they can design a shirt. But
but
they
you
get
hope
to
that they
smoke-
want to, and if somebody just puts their name on something and they
No,
don't
if
even
they're just
see it,
putting their name and getting money, that's bullshit.
yeah, and that's the way it is. It's actually, it would be nice if people were true about it, and there are. I mean, that's the thing.
People want to be.
And again, the minute
Hopefully.
they step in the garden for like a week or two, they're going to be like, wow, this shit is a lot of work, and let me go back to the studio. I'm fucking done with this shit, because obviously you're going to make them do the worst jobs. I'd be like, oh, pots, cleaning pots. That's the fucking first job, right? I mean, get in there.
You're just gonna make them a full-on apprentice.
Oh yeah,
They got to grow their own weed.
that would be the best way. Come here.
Then it's signatured, grown by weed, grown by
Imagine
Snoop.
that would be
I
cool.
give it some legitimacy.
I'd buy that.
Exactly.
Well, no, actually, I wouldn't. I don't think Snoop's a good grower. That would be like buy a rap album by Adam.
That would actually be like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that doesn't.
That would
make
be
sense
cool.
at all. That would be cool.
It would be bad. So bad it'd be good.
Oh, we got to post some of these videos. So Adam has started making these bizarre. I can't even describe these videos he's making using some apps on his phone. Do you use more than one app?
Yeah, multi-app. It's a multi-app feature.
He's really like working at the limits of iPhone creativity. And
I had these things on my phone forever too, and I just was like, and I was like on the
you
plane.
hadn't found the purpose.
No, just sitting on the plane the other day, and I was like, can't use anything that's connected to the internet. So I was like, oh, these things are just like picture shit, you know what I mean? And I'm not really. Then I was like, oh, this swap face is pretty cool, and ooh, this is creating some weird morphed things. And then the reality is, once you start playing with those things, obviously it gets to the point where you're like,
well, your creativity finally comes into play.
you're like, hey, maybe I can do this and turn this into that. And I was like, so anyway, then I got the talking one. So I got the swap face, and then I got the talking app where you can put the little mouth on anything or anybody, and that gets bad, yeah. Because then you're like, okay,
It's really trippy and like
It freaks
slightly
people out.
disturbing, and
Yeah.
it's bad and good all in the same way.
how are we gonna do it? How are we gonna bring them up?
Well, so what you can do is you can click on live stream here,
Oh yeah.
okay, and then you can click the post button. You're logged into our account, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, log out.
All right, here, you log
All
me in.
right, I'm
log
trying.
it out of it. Uh-oh, running battery power low. You have
Okay.
you gonna leave your charger here again?
I have my charger in my bag. Listen, you need to finish texting Oregon Kid and give him the call-in number. 720-310. I'll do it.
Oh
Intern,
my
thank you. If
God.
you could get my power cord.
There you go. See?
Sal is calling you.
No.
Oh my goodness, things are falling apart, right? Thank you, intern. KTI, pardon me.
KTI in the house. Yeah, we're on their phones now. This is a great show. We're on our
Yeah,
phones.
exactly.
2 guys on their phone. That's the name of our show.
Just trying to get the info.
If you haven't
out
got
to
enough
them.
guys hanging around you looking at their phone, watch our show.
Yeah, well, it makes it
We'll be
realistic. It really does feel like you're hanging out with Adam because he's playing on his phone the whole time, talking about his videos. So Adam hasn't talked to me in 4 days except about these pictures and videos that he's. This is like gonna go into a museum, I believe, at some
my
point.
God.
It's a classic piece of American culture.
Yeah, you think it's that good?
Okay,
All right.
can I do the live stream on this so you can upload these videos that we just typed?
Let me go on this.
Do it. You do that. Okay. KTI, plug her in right there, and I'll be back in the driver's seat here.
You're good.
Boom. Okay, I'm back. Oh, and there we go. There's our call. This should be our
You know how to
guy.
do it? Lift the thing up, I think. Left one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. Who do we got there?
This is Oregon Kid.
Yeah.
Hey,
what's
how's
going on,
it going?
brother?
How are you doing? I'm doing good.
Oh, we're doing great, man. I'm sorry I missed you guys. It sounded like you really had a great time out there with Adam in Seattle.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I told
Yeah, we missed you too.
Mitch about the secret door, and that was enough right
Big
there.
fan of secret doors.
we're big fans of secret doors, exactly. So he was like, "What? You had to go behind a fire? Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yep, that place was sick."
Yeah, I had been there before, and I didn't know about the secret door until I got there, and you guys were there.
That's awesome.
That's even better.
That's the
That's
best.
even better. Even
That's
better.
the best. Yeah, man. Oh, man. So we've had you on the show before, dude, but obviously we've known you a lot longer now. Hey, we have plenty to talk about. You've been back on the scene, turning heads on Instagram a lot since we had you on. I feel like a couple
I
years
think I even
ago.
got a couple hits of that rosin left, like 1 or 2 maybe.
Yeah. I'm trying to get more back into the scene right now, and figure I'm going to try to go back to breeding at some point also.
Nope, I think I smoked
Well,
all the rosin.
I mean, a lot of stuff. I think a lot of people recognize you obviously for. Some people recognize you for your role in the OG, putting that out there. Banana Kush for sure, and the Blackberry Kush. I think a lot of people don't realize is your work, man.
Yeah, I have a lot to do with some other people too. There, if you guys want to research it online, was Elite Genetics also that I worked with, and they had put out a lot of gear for me, with me. That we were working together on breeding projects back in the day.
What were some of the projects you were working on then? Do you remember those?
We had a West Coast dog, and we had some chem dogs crossed OG. And there was just a lot. Bubba with OGs, and we had a chocolate mint Bubba and a cherry Bubba out there. And I still get asked about these by some of the people today when I'm seen.
Sure.
Not a lot of people know. Because I back in the day, I just tried to be quiet and do it because I really didn't want to have my face known.
Yeah, you're pretty easy to spot once you know you. So you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not hard to find in a crowd, you know? Especially if you don't have a hat on. You'd be like, yep, that's the guy. I'm pretty sure that's him.
Yeah, I figured after the show with you and telling you about the 502 and going to that, it was all right to start posting some face pics and stuff.
Nice. Well, there you
Open up
go.
a little bit more.
I mean, that's kind of what we're always talking about. Mitch and I is like, it's like it's awesome to be bringing people in, or people that are already in, but maybe staying on the fringe because of the whole idea of the the way everything ran for so long, and that's obviously been a smart power move for everybody who did because they're still here. You know, what I mean?
Still around.
You made it to this point, which is I think where we're all happy that everybody who's like a little concerned the minute that their state flips or things start to happen around them, then you feel like you're behind the ball. You know what I mean? So you want to get to, like, and everybody wants to be relevant and stay within the scene. And I think it's going to expand, but at the same time, it's almost like anything when it gets so popular or to the point where that it's everywhere. You know, the quality is even less. You know what I mean? Because it's just obvious.
Yeah.
Because there's more people jumping in who have absolutely no clue, loading up their plants with, you know, having like, you know, 1,200 parts per, you know, like at the end you're looking at plants that are flushing out like more newts than you ever put in a plant. You know what I mean? And you're like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, you've been flushing for 2 weeks and it's still coming out at 1,200 ppm. You guys, I don't know what the fuck you were growing, but, you know, I've seen some cocoa gardens like that where just people just don't get it and they just listen to the instructions and keep pouring in the stuff. And you're like, okay, maybe you need to slow down a little bit and learn. What's your favorite techniques for? Are you more of an organic store style grower, or are you more like salts or newts or bottled newts?
Right now, I was doing organics. Before, I was doing hard nutrients like SBA, SBB,
Mm-hmm.
the old stuff that was used in Los Angeles by most of the OG growers that were out there. The Canadian nutrient,
Right.
the super nutrients. And I'm trying to move away from them now.
Did you ever shop at Hydro Oasis back in the day in LA?
No, I don't think so.
No. That was like whenever I came back from Europe, that would be the one shop that I would go and hang out at, and you know, it was actually one of the coolest shops, I'd say, because they always had, like, you know, kind of hood kids working there that knew what was up, and everybody, you know, it was proper. You know, felt like, okay, I'm definitely in a, you know, real, like, these guys. It was because a lot of the grocery shops are so anal and so difficult about everything. You know, you couldn't get any info out of anybody, but Evan, the guy who ran that place, he was one of the...
Yeah, I know Evan.
Okay, yeah. So he's kind of one of the LA kind of fixtures in my head from that period, you know, as far as... There wasn't that many choices either. It was like a couple shops here. There was a shop at the vet. But everyone would try to shop away from where they live, obviously. So
like, I don't try to throw no salts on nobody's names, but there was a few people out there in the scene that were doing other things other than marijuana, and I tried to stay away from them once I found out.
Sure.
And
oh, yeah, I mean...
It was kind of the downfall of some of these people.
Yeah, you usually stick around longer when you make that decision.
Yep, and the thing is, too, you know, there was some weird shops. I remember in Florida, there was a place called Gold Coast back in the day that was literally like one of the first shops, and I was living in Lauderdale at the time, and it was around 86 or something like that, and I remember going up to this store, and it was so shady. Like, I walked in, and it was like two fat guys sitting in a room, like, looking like they're straight out of Jersey or something, and I'm like, well, where's all this stuff? You know what I mean? It was like, they had a couple things. They had like 3 things hanging on the wall. Dusty. And I was like, and they were like, yeah, what you need, you know? And I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, this place is terrible. I think it turned into a normal shop after that, but at the very beginning, it was so dodgy. I mean, I walked in there, and I was like, this seems like a real weird cop setup. Like, there's guys behind the wall watching me order something and then follow. You had that really, I mean, it was definitely a different time. You know, what was crazy was I was just when I was in Seattle, I noticed all there was a lot of Dutch grow guys, and the reason being is that they're not allowed to sell any equipment in Holland anymore. It's crazy. They're not allowed to sell lights. They're not allowed to sell. So, like, even like Gavita coming out of there, it's crazy. You're like, I would probably leave there if you were, you know, like,
change where your headquarters
because technically it's like illegal for them to sell lamps to people because you are then liable for what they do with the light. That's how they're trying to stretch it over there. It's like, really?
Wow.
So if you have you sell somebody 100 pack of lights, you can 100% guarantee if they get in trouble and they somehow get a receipt from your, like, that's why nobody was able to do receipts, then they couldn't legally sell it.
Jesus.
Then it was getting all shady and slippery, and they're sending undercover cops into shops and going like, I need 100 lights. And it's like, it's just weird. So to see like Holland turn like that in America, where it used to be crazy to go to a grow shop and you had to like go to one or out of town, or, you know, there was no mail order or nothing like that. There was no Amazon,
right?
You know, and now it's like the opposite here. Everybody's just loosey goosey and buying stuff like, oh yeah, I just get everything on the internet. I'm like, you buy everything off the internet? Like, you don't go to a grow shop anymore? They're like, no. And I'm like, that's weird, because I like to try to stay loyal to at least one or two shops, because exactly, that's what we're just trying to segue to our current thing. But I think it's important as a grower. I mean, because at the end of the day, if you're really loyal to them, they're loyal to you, and like you're getting it at cost. You know what I mean? They're not making any money off of you. They're just keeping you around because they'd rather have a couple people that are cool and hanging out with them instead of just every guy coming in and trying to buy like a little, small amount or whatever. So especially when you get big, everybody always tries to get all creative and I'm going to open my own store or something like that. It's like, nah, it's not always easy. And I'd see it like...
when I first started this, I started at Burbank Hydroponics buying the salts and extra edge for there was really any hydro stores around. You had to use what they had. Mm-hmm. And Moshan was making his own nutrients, selling them there over the store.
Yeah, they're actually in a big store around here just closed the other day too. That Grow Big Supply closed down out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
that'll be an interesting story to follow up on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like kind of. I think right now, if you own a shop, you're pretty much like borderline sell it or make it like big because you're about to get into like Walmart and all these places are already slowly creeping. Home Depot and stuff. Slowly, like there's a whole aisle now at Home Depot where they have. Newts from some company I never heard of, and it looks like total weed newts. Like you're looking at it like, what is this now? What's going on? So, I can see that kind of happening too, where it's starting to become like, well, if it's going to be legal in all these states, then there's no reason that Home Depot and places like that won't jump on board.
No, for sure.
So, I want to first let the chat room know that we'll take questions for Oregon Kid or for Ghost if they got them. And we'll get them relayed and answered. Anyway, tell us what's been going on with you since you've been back in the scene, man. I imagine that a lot of people have been reaching out to you and you've gotten to reconnect with some people.
Yeah, since I've come back in the scene, I was able to reconnect with Josh, which I hadn't seen in many years. And then when I went over to the party with Adam Dunn, I hooked up with X from Exotic Genetics, who I had never really met, but he had told me, he was using a lot of the strains that I had released to make his clones and plants and different strains with. And also I have some other friends that are in Oregon that run the Sour Owl that I was the one who had bred that and gave them that cutting down there.
Which cutting was that?
It's called Sour Owl.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of old growers out here that I haven't seen in years, and now that we're online, we're able to talk through Overgrow, or not Overgrow, but Instagram. Bog's back out, and I've talked to OG Rascal, and
now you were active on Overgrow back in the day, correct?
Yeah.
So these are kind of like your homies from back then that you lost touch with when it got shut down. Did you go to any of the other sites after Overgrow shut down? Or you kind of stayed.
I kind of faded out because the RPC took everything.
Yeah.
And I posted some big pics and stuff, so it kind of made me nervous. And then I went into growing for, doing big grow rooms and made some mistakes, and the cops came in a few times and took my rooms and me to jail, and had to get back out and get back going again. And instead of doing little things, I was, putting 60, 80 lights in the house and pulling too much power and getting caught, and stealing power at that time, making bad decisions.
Yeah. Just putting up too many tracks.
Yeah. And getting known, like when I get pulled over, they'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Day, we're happy to see you." Oh. And it's like, oh, really? Are you growing in the house that you live? We've been watching you.
So
I got pulled over by a tattoo parlor getting a tattoo, and they came in and arrested me there and took me to a house.
Should we segue that to a
Yeah, we're gonna take
to
a pause.
10-minute? Yeah, well, 2-minute commercial thing.
Yeah, we're gonna do a 2-minute commercial break. So just hang on the line with us there, and we'll be back with you, brother,
Okay.
because we're gonna have people in. So big shout out, of course, to our favorite grow store to have a relationship with.
Exactly. Way to grow.
Way to grow.
7 locations all over Colorado. One up in Silverthorne, latest one, the newest, and the biggest and my favorite is Platte River, where they have Concentrate Corner. So if you need anything for your concentrates, that's your spot. And what was the special this month? We're in the same one, right? So we
Lucky 13.
Lucky
Lucky
13.
13.
KTR.
Yeah.
coming out of nowhere with all
Got that
the
whippets, right?
They do.
The vermisoil.
It's not whippets. They have whippets.
Well, the whippet butane, right? You know.
Don't get everybody too excited. If you say the word whippet around certain people, they go nuts. You gotta
They
be
go,
careful.
what?
Yeah, you got to be careful. It's just like saying candy around the kid. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But they got the Lucky 13 going
I'll
down.
pull it up for
There
you.
you go.
T5 and the
$5
anniversary.
$5 Whippet Premium Butane, $13 Vermifier, $25 Extra Sun 1000 watts, and $6 T5s. That's
And Mo was actually talking about Vermifier yesterday to me.
really
Yep, he's been rocking it.
well. There you go, $13 a bag. Let him know.
Bam.
Come to Colorado.
And
Buy
he'll
it.
be here in a couple weeks.
And don't forget when you check out, say Adam Dunn Show, and they will hook you up.
Grab a bunch of candy because the kid
Grab a bunch of candy.
will be mad if you don't do that.
and
just
say it's for
Throw the
kid.
candy wrappers and
Back in the bowl.
Yeah, and just be really gross about it. No, that's not, don't do that. Don't be that guy. But what you should be in the candy world is incredible edibles.
Incredibles edibles. The kid's mom just ate a fire bar. She was supposed to call in.
Exactly. If you're listening, Mom, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. Speaking of giving us, KTI, can I grab a daytime?
Yeah, I got you.
Get one out of the fridge, though.
Oh yeah, fridge daytimer.
I did the old, as you bring it, and then bring the old, you know the deal.
Who knows? Rotate.
No, that is not a fridge.
That would be slick.
That would be cool. But
Big shout out to Incredibles Edibles. I wish we had a sample of someone on a Fireberry bar.
you know what we forgot to do?
What did we forget to do? Valentine's Day candy with the with the Fireberry.
So we can we'll do it with medicated one.
Well, there's Easter coming. Easter's a candy. I bet the
There you
only
go.
thing the kid associates with
Okay.
Easter is candy.
Of course.
Right?
Oh, and those are really bad. Those are like all sorts of crazy.
I'm pretty sure it's right near 420 too.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll save the kid explosion episode for that year. That time. All right.
But in the meantime, you can check out IncrediblesColorado.com. Incredibles edibles at your local recreational or medical dispensary. All around Colorado and coming soon elsewhere. Who else we got? We got Build a Soil, our favorite source for organics. We should hook Oregon Kid up with Jeremy. We should hook everybody up with Jeremy. That's our hookup for all organics.
I talk about them everywhere. And it's so funny to talk to people from all over the world that actually use this product now.
And talk to him, and
like he's getting people from all over
Awesome.
ordering products. So it's nice to see. I mean, and tracking those. And we had a few people come up to me at the show, ordering stuff. In Seattle. So
that's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. And we always love to connect people with buildasoil.com.
And of course, Seeds Here Now. Latest sponsor.
And
Brought me out
our
to, I think.
new sponsor.
Newest, latest, greatest sponsor. Well, back in the day, was
Seeds
sponsor.
Here Now.
Seeds Here Now.
Seeds
Here. No,
now.
it's Seeds Here Now.
Yeah.
Seeds Here Now. Seeds Here Now.
Seeds Here Now. Seeds Here now. Seeds Here now.
Seeds Here Now.
Open it up. Yeah, give it the big spread. Seeds Here Now.
Number one broker of top quality genetics.
Number one
Give me
broker
a-
of top quality
I
genetics.
can't think off the top of my head.
You can go seedsherenow.com.
TSK,
They
right?
got Best Coast, Old World.
He's got a great lineup.
I know. Garden Ablaze Seeds, Moscow Genetics, Loud Seeds. He's
DJ
got
Short, he's
the
got
seed
Snow
company.
High,
He's
he's
got
got
Sunny Chiba, of course.
Sunny Chiba,
Everyone-
Homegrown
Swamp
Natural
Boys.
Wonders, Swamp Boys.
Everyone loves those Swamp Boys.
TH Seeds?
Shirts, especially I hear. Swamp Boy. Top Dog. It's got JJ in there.
JJ, Top Dog,
Dr. Blaze, Alaska Built, Motor Rebel.
Motor Rebel.
So-
He's got a solid lineup, all
Very
available.
solid.
Seeds Here Now.
And he is also repping the Torchless Nail too,
Yep.
which he was. Oh, this is hilarious! I can tell this story. And, coming up the stairs at the hotel, smell like plastic burning or something in the hallway, and he's standing by the door. Looks like a kid who's about to pee his pants. Right? He's like, rah, 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 and he can't get the door open. And I had my key, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, open the door. Yeah, open the door, and he had put the thing in his. Somebody had put the thing in his bag. He didn't do it, but somebody put it in his bag. and
And the
you
button
cannot
was
do
on.
that. And the button was on, and that shit had melted. Like the whole thing was all melted on the inside. Like the whole
my
wire
God.
was all about to explode or something. It was like his bag was literally smoking when he standing in the hallway. I was like, "What are you doing?" He looked like a crazy bomber guy about to blow up in the hallway. It was pretty funny.
But big shout out to Seeds Here Now.
Seeds are no.
Seeds Here Now.
All right, that was enough.
.com. And
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Ching, ching.
This
Cheers.
one.
Yeah,
Too much
right.
glass up here.
All right, daytime
Daytime in.
Lagunitas.
Big shout out to Dark Horse Genetics.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those guys.
Right. Dark Horse Extracts. Just finished putting them together.
Oh, they're swamp now.
Swamp?
You guys were just like crushed with.
Well, no. Well,
You powered through it already.
Extract is doing well. We're packaging bit by bit the first round of Dark Horse Extracts.
Nice.
That's Tanner from AU extracting the stuff that Jason's growing in house.
Nice.
It's
It's
pretty fire.
No, real fire.
It's real fire.
Super fire.
And I made fancy packages, hand stamped by me, artisanal.
Nice.
Very artistic.
Love and
Nice.
love
Get you
and
to stamp
positive
and work
intentions.
on anything. That's like crazy.
6. I stamped each package 6 times.
That's just like me starting my first company.
That's what you just hand stamped everything.
Everything because
It's
we were the
military
CIA.
style, and
Because we were the CIA,
exactly, yeah.
and our whole stamp, we were like stamp happy. So you got degrassified stamps instead of declassified. And, we had the
Yeah, you ordered a whole bunch of stamps. Yeah.
We made
I'm
'em up,
fucking the
yeah.
same- I'm in the same boat. I
We were
I
right
didn't make
there.
them up, but
you just
they
got,
look like little rations. They're cool.
yeah.
And the live resin is fucking.
But you get
fire,
nuts
and the
after a
shatter's
while.
cool,
You're
too.
like, oh man, somebody print.
My whole body is sore actually from like stamping.
Yeah, stamping's real work.
It is when you do it for 8-10 hours. It's
Same
definitely
thing
work.
as what's his name, Eddie, whatever was saying from Aficionado. Was saying.
Oh yeah.
He just said the same thing. Like, after you do them, it's cool, but then you're like, fuck, just get a sticker.
Anyway,
Anyways, so we're back.
big shout out to Dark Horse Genetics, and again, Dark Horse concentrates. Ask for it at your local dispensary. It's a limited drop, that's for sure. There's going to be more around coming. We got some new flavors coming down the pike. The Joe's Lemonade is one to keep your eye out for. That stuff is amazing. It's just like powdered lemonade, country time. A lot of other great flavors coming out of the garden. This first round, Dark Horse OG, Original Juliet, a lot of good stuff. Again, ask for it at your local dispensary. Dark Horse Concentrates. And now, back to the show.
There you go. Now we're back.
Sorry. Oregon
That was
Kid, we
like
still
2
got you,
minutes.
buddy?
That was called 2 minutes on the moon or something.
Yeah,
2 minutes.
yeah.
Whatever. Our 2 minutes are longer. It's a 10-minute show.
So, man.
Another person I got to hook up with out here that's really cool is Archive.
Archive, our buddy Fletcher. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We-
Fletcher.
Yeah,
Well,
he's on the Dark Horse label out here in Colorado. We love Fletch.
basically, with Archive, I met him, 10 years back, too, with all my other friends up here.
Yeah.
And gave him my plants back then, too, and had talked to him, and I guess he said I inspired him to work with OGs and change his breeding of what he was into and go into breeding. And I didn't even know he was Archive Seeds at first. I tripped out when he told me who he was, and that, I was the one, and that he was the kid who had the Omega garden
Right.
that I had met 10 years back. So it was pretty surprising to get hooked up with him again. He's a really great person.
Yeah, I really like Fletcher. He's a really solid dude, a good friend of the show. And yeah, it's cool to reconnect after a long time with people. It's even cooler, I think, and this is kind of a segue to some of the chat room questions, to see how all of a sudden stuff that people thought was long gone is like, oh no, that guy's back around, and actually he still has a cut of that or seeds of that. So do you have anything that you were kind of keeping in the vault all these years that you're bringing back to the table?
There's some stuff, but at this point, I'm not able to release what it is because one of my friends isn't around and he has this stuff put away. Until he gets back, I won't be able to get at it. The stuff that I had put away over the time, I had, this guy, Dave, the owner of RDC, who's friends with Select Genetics, some money, and I took the seeds that I had back then and paid him off with them. And then he sold them in his store through the clinic out to patients. So I don't know exactly what we have left. That's in my other friend's trunk right now.
So there's definitely still some stuff though, but it's kind of a mystery.
Yeah, I just don't have a clue. What's
That's
there,
even
you know?
better. We love mysteries, man.
Yeah, it's all about the traveling through, figuring shit out, right? Got to go through it all.
So now, are you sitting there with Ghost? Is Ghost with you there?
Yeah,
Can we bring Ghost on the line for the first time on the show?
yeah. Hold on.
Nice.
Well,
Nice. Give me the little winky.
hey,
Hey, what's going
Well,
on, Ghost? Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show, man.
they want to talk to you.
Oh, he's not there.
He's asking for you. Hold
Yeah,
on.
he's up.
Oh, here you go.
Here he comes. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. Are we talking to
How's it
Ghost?
going, fellas? Yes,
Hey.
sir. How you guys doing?
Hey, this is Adam here, and that was Mitch.
This is Mitch. Dude, I mean, we've been trying to track you down to get you on the show for a very long time. You're a famous man around these parts.
Yeah, me and Kids Cruz, you know, we hooked up when we were kids, and you know, things happen, and you know, the way it goes.
So we've talked to Kid a bunch about his history with the Kush, but I would love to talk to you about yours, man. How it came into your life and where it led that little period of your life. I know it's in the past, and I want to catch up to what you're doing in the present. But you know,
Oh yeah, we just been working and same old stuff, and hooked up with Kid again, and gonna go ahead and grow some 502 weed for him, I guess. See if some old dog can teach him some new tricks.
So I mean, you're pretty famous in Colorado because the first real serious cut of OG came out here, came with the tag Ghost's Cut, and soon that started getting called Ghost OG for shorthand, and that's most OG collectors out here have to have what we call the Ghost OG, but your cut of OG Kush, if you're serious about it. So
I don't know. We just called it OG. I don't know who, you know.
someone out
I
here
don't
did.
really. Yeah, I don't know where all that really came from. You know, me and Kid, Josh. You know, it's OG Kush, man.
So that's the funny story to
so-
us is that we think it's all the same, but everybody out here, and I think to some extent in Cali, think there's all these different OGs. We got the Ghost OG, we got the 92 OG, we got all these different
SFV.
True OG, SFV OG, the Hell's Angel OG.
We see a lot of different ones. You know, there's a lot of similarities. You know, she throws some strong traits. But, you know, I know me personally, you know, I must have been asked for it from people over the past 15 years, hundreds of times, and I can tell you 5 where I gave them the real deal. So that's just what it is, you know. I was never going to compete.
Right.
You know, my friend Kid, he was a little bit more free. Me, I was a little bit more opposite. You know, me and Tycoon, one of our other partners, we were a little bit more different on the other scope of that, and we just chose not to give them out. We got our boys in Oregon who've been holding the sour out cut for us. They've done real good with that down there. And we're going to start pumping that out too. And we're going to see where it goes. Got some other cuts we're going to start rocking and throwing out there and see if we can make some waves in the 502 market with our oils and flowers and try and be some legal cats, I guess.
Yeah, right. I guess.
I know. It's like,
Feel you on that. It's a new game. It's a fun game. It's different.
yeah.
I mean, that's what they call it, legal, I guess. But you know, it is what it is. Smoke and mirrors, I guess, to me. But it's all about greed. You know, I don't think the flower respond well to it, but that's what it is, I guess.
You know, on that level, I was talking about it with a buddy this morning, and you know, the point we came to is, I think one way or another, whatever forces think they're going to take control of the herb, they're going to find this in the long run. It's the other way around. You know,
Yeah.
that you can't control it. It always it gets into you more before you get into it.
No, it's just, you know, just that's the hard part of it.
And I like
Sit
it.
back and
And
watch all that.
I like it because it gets pissy when you don't know what you're fucking when you don't have a good intention. It gets pissy. Either fucking
Oh yeah, it'll let you know. It'll give you the business.
yeah, big time. And if you haven't already, and you think you go in hard and big, and then it just hits you hard and bigger. You know what I mean? That's kind of the and nobody talks about that part. Like that's the funny part is in this industry we've seen so many guys dump millions of dollars into
Yeah.
shitholes basically.
Well, you know, like, you know, me and Kid, and, you know, we toured several facilities, and the amazing part is
to listen to these guys tell us how good their product is, but they don't even smoke.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You're on a McDonald's and don't eat a cheeseburger, I guess. I don't know. But you got the best.
Yeah, exactly. Very much like McDonald's in a lot of these cases.
Exactly. And you don't even and you can't compare to nothing. You're just looking at the numbers. And that's the thing is that I see people, taking a beating, but even taking a beating, they're able to break even. You know what I mean? And in most industries,
for sure.
In most industries, it's the other way around. Yeah. Like if you take a beating, you're done right off the gate. Out of the gate, and you can kind of limp. You can limp along if you want.
Work out.
Yeah, and like I always say too, is like the people who don't have the heart or don't have the experience better have the capital, because the rest of it, otherwise you're fucked. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that'll save you, and it'll only get you. Like I've seen guys here, we've seen I know a garden that somebody took over, and when they compared the numbers, they were like in shock. They were like, these guys are pulling they're pulling 6 ounces of light. Oh my God. And they had 2,000 lights or something stupid. You know what I mean? They're like, doesn't matter. We got 2,000 lights. 2,000 lights. And
do it on volume.
And I was like, what are you? If they had 500 lights in each room in 4 rooms or something stupid. It was big
that's
dumb.
Just more work than we really want to overtake at our age.
Yeah, but these guys were just dumb and coming in out of the gate with numbers that made no sense. You're like, huh?
No, but hey, good luck to them. I hope they win. But I want to grow. We want to grow old and enjoy growing weed, and do it ourselves for ourselves and our family and friends, and not for other people.
Sure, yeah, dude. So I want to go back in time now to when you first got the Kush, because we just talked to Bubba and Alec and Joshy and all those guys, and I always like to ask everyone, like, when you first got that plant, first of all, did you know what it was before you got it? Did you know about the hype, and that's why you sought it out, or we
had been knowing Kid a little bit here and there, and hanging out back and forth from L.A. to Seattle, and we've been hearing a little bit about it, and then he rolled it up here, came up here, and some wild times, and dropped that off, and from then on, we've been all right.
And I mean, you knew immediately how important, how special it was, because you held it close. You wouldn't have held it as close as you did. I guess.
Because immediately we started. Up here, back in the days up here, 10 years ago, people it was all about cuts. There wasn't as many breeders as there is quite now. Mm-hmm. And so when you had a cut, hey, they ask you every day. You're getting calls for that cut. So when you get that many calls, hey, you better keep it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And keep him healthy too. I mean, kind of at the end of the day, that would be your go-to guy. Would be the guy who can just grow the best clones and keep it rolling, because that's the hardest. That was I've seen so many strains get just driven into the ground quick just because the person
just
killed some plants just don't recover. And Kush is a hard one, man. Kush is like it's not the easiest plant in the world to clone, and it's fucking finicky plant
to grow. I mean,
just in general,
finicky. It's a shallow rooter,
Yeah. So it's one of those. It's not really the best outdoor plant, that's for sure. It's
no. Wouldn't even attempt it, me personally.
And people do it all the time and try again. And it's kind of that actually doesn't work really well. It's better from seed, some S1 of it or something like that. It'll be all right. But from clone, it's fuck. It just doesn't want to grab hard enough.
We owe a lot up here to Kid. Josh D. Them guys right there.
Yes.
We just hopefully we'll work it all out and pay it forward back, and some old dogs get back together and make it happen.
Right, that's exactly it. And it's awesome too, because it's connections that I was living in Europe for most of the time, but what I really tried to do, and through a friend of mine who's going to come on the show in a couple of weeks, my friend Mo, who's a friend of Joshy's, and they were friends for years, and they before the Kush, and then during and through it, and I got a cut through Joshy, and I brought it back to Amsterdam, and it was one of those game changers for me, and and the reality was but at that time it was still really tightly held, and it was definitely it was causing waves, and
that's kind of how people need to get nowadays, if you ask me. Just giving them the game.
The thing is now is people got him. A lot of them, people got it. But at the same time now, I think it is the development side. When you start getting talent together, and you it's really choosing, which is probably your guys' super specialty is knowing the true original
We'll
what you're
go
looking
through
for.
300-400.
You know what you're
wind
looking
up
for.
with 1 or 2 if we're lucky.
Yeah, but you know what you're looking for. That's the whole key. Like if you're just like chasing what you think you're looking for, then you're getting.
You know, not everyone's a good one.
Oh, for sure. And you also know what the original one was. That's the key.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
But you get all this
Well,
fresh
right
blood.
on, fellas.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you guys talk back to kids.
Okay, cool, man.
Get back to smoking.
It's been awesome talking to you.
Yeah, brother. Thank you for appearing on the show.
All right,
Hopefully,
fellas,
we'll
I
meet
appreciate
soon.
you guys, man. Appreciate what you guys are doing, man.
You were very elusive at that. You were very elusive the other night, though. I didn't even realize it was you until you were like already walking out the door. I was like, "Damn,
Yeah,
that guy
it's a little crazy. It's a little
he
crazy
is a ghost.
nowadays.
You really do. You did ghost.
It's hard to see. It's hard to feel. We still got some of our boys in prison, man. So it's hard to,
I got you.
people out here, wave the flags, but at the end of the day, doors still get kicked in,
For sure.
unless you're on the right team. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yep. No, it was great talking to you. It was great meeting
All
you.
right, fellas, handle your business. All right, later. Here's Ken.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah.
kid, what's going on?
Not much.
No, that was cool, man. That was real cool to talk to Ghost.
Yeah, no, it definitely shows the the influence that one plant made for and you getting a chance to spread it to the right people and get it to people that take that obviously appreciate what everybody else who gets it same thing.
So, kid, I got to ask, like, do you have any tips for people who want to breed with the OG? Is there anything that you think about that, like, don't even try this, I've tried it doesn't work, or anything? Like, if you ever do this sort of thing, it's going to work well?
Basically, I look at trying to pick what traits you want out of which plant that you're going to breed with to the OG, and what you're looking for out of it.
So, can you give an example?
Okay. Well, for example, when I found the blackberries, the blackberry structure when it came out was very loose. No, it was really purple, but had no height to it. So, when I was going to use that to breed down, I picked my friend's purple rhino. This is different than the OG. I'll refer to the OG in a minute. But I used this purple rhino bush because it was smaller, tighter, had tight buds with a lot of crystallization and a strong high. And I crossed that to it. And when the seeds came out of that, they held the flavor of the blackberry, but they held the structure and the high of the plant that I used to breed it to.
Sure.
So, with the OG, unless you're going to make S1 seeds with it by using silver nitrates and stuff to turn it to a male, then you need to look for the male plant that you want to use that has the right smell and structure and taste and things like that, and hit it to it, hoping that you're going to get both structure and high from the one plant, and then the flavor from the male that you use to the OG, and you still have some of the OG flavors behind it.
And I mean, your banana OG is one of the legendary banana strains to me. There's very few, I think, good banana strains out there.
Thanks.
Yeah, that actually kind of tripped me out because I came back. That was one of the ones that I got back here and was like, that actually does have that. Smells like a banana. That's kind of wacky, right?
So, how did you? Was that part of your breeding process? Do you have a male that smells like bananas, and that's what you were trying to do?
Yeah, I had on Gypsy Seed Bay site. He had a Sagomartha 6040, and it was in the auction lot of 1,000 seeds, and I purchased those, and I had grown out like 200 of them. Because the first few that I grew out, they smelled like banana, but they were really loose, all the buds. And the high wasn't really great. It was more of a little squatty bush. So I kept growing them out until I found the male plant that was really sticky and had a lot of smell and a nice structure to it that was a little bit more lanky than squatty. And I used that one to breed, and I had 2 of them all together that were the same about. So I used those both in the room with the OGs and bred them out. And then I had grown a handful of those seeds out to see how they came out. And they were pretty good, pretty much close to almost the same, a lot of them. And I had found one that just stood out a little bit more, had more crystals, a little bit bigger buds, tighter pheno. And then I picked that as the mom and just harvested the rest out and flowered off the rest of them again and kept the one as a mom. And then eventually I gave it to a few friends, and it's gotten around, and I took it to a club, and then friends of mine ran a club called Soho, and gave them cuts, and they started distributing them from there to other patients so that it would be readily available for people to be able to grow.
No, it's good. I'm amazed you got that right, and you got that hole in your memory. It's nice to hear, because it's like that's what it is when you do real work. You kind of, it makes it easy to kind of pull back. You're like, oh yeah, and then I did that, and then I did this, because.
And that's good advice on working with the OG. Like a lot of people start with S1ing it, or a lot of people reverse it and take the pollen and hit shit. Yeah. I think the idea of trying to bring flavor and structure to, because the idea that the male's going to add those in that cross, knowing about the sex-linked traits in a way, it's real good insight.
Thank you.
So, I don't know. We're at 3:49 right now. I think we're going to go till 4:20 and then do our wrap-up. Anything else you want to talk about, man? Or are you coming out here for ADSI? Because I want to segue to an ADSI segment.
I'll do it on the phone with you guys right at this point. I'm just in the middle of stuff. I'm going in and out of the doctors still, trying to make my legs stronger and stuff, and I'm looking at a back surgery, so I'm doing a lot of physical therapy and working with the 502 out here. It's taking up a lot of my time, so I don't know if I'll be able to make it out this time. I'm hoping next year.
Cool.
But I'll be able to come to more stuff once I've had back surgery, and hopefully it's given me a little bit more relief so I can walk a little easier and get around better.
That's good.
And possibly have some more money put away at that point.
Well, yeah, and we might be up in Seattle again. You never know. So
we'll be back up in that area. It's definitely good to hear that your physical therapy's going along and you're committed to it. Yeah, brother. Well, we want to thank you as always for coming on, and again, thank Ghost for us for coming on. We thank you for listening out there, and just for sharing your story and for playing your part, man. And I, for one, look forward to meeting you, brher.
Yeah, it was great meeting you. It was definitely great meeting you and the crew up there, and getting you and Joshy back together was awesome, because I was like, it makes, like, when I heard that you heard the show and then you kind of like confirmed right away, like, well, that's the guy I definitely got my cut from. And then just to know that you guys have got a chance to hook up there, and he's moved up close. You guys all just like kind of magic, right? You guys all linked up in a totally different place than, because I would not, like, back in the day I would have thought of Joshy up in not in LA. You know what I mean? He would have been like, what? Like, he's not here?
Yeah, we offered him a spot in our 502 also if he wants it, and that's up to Josh at this point.
That'd be great.
I would never leave him behind. That's family to me.
Yeah. No, it was awesome to see that all link up again, and keep that OG story kind of moving, because now you guys got, confirmation of you all worked this long, you all been able to survive and keep it rolling, and then to get back together, that's going to be awesome. It's like
huge.
Another power trio, or more.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Well, we'll get you guys back on. We'll get you on while we can up here, and we'll try to get there to see you again, and then hopefully you'll be up and rolling, and we'll get you moving over this way.
Awesome. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great rest of your radio show, and thank you for having us on.
You too, man. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend, man.
Thank you. You too. Talk to you soon.
Talk soon, man. Peace.
All right.
Cool. That was definitely good because the thing we'll upload the other one, but it's real loud and kind of hard to hear. So you can imagine trying to mix that in with the loudness. It's like I was trying to do an interview with him, and it was getting real loud. So yeah, this made it probably. I think you covered everything that I could have covered. I think. I mean, I don't know. I probably segued to something, but I'm sure you couldn't hear it.
So that's good.
And that was awesome to talk to Ghost.
What do you think, KTI?
Thought it was good, informative, learning.
You're learning. I see. As long as it is.
Now let me play a contrast. Do you know who Ghost or Oregon Kid are, KTI? But did you know who they were before you learned?
Before today?
Before today.
I have a very basic understanding of them. And,
Okay,
but
that's
they
good.
introduced Kush through the forums.
Yeah. See? He knows.
Did you know before that though, like from us?
Before
or
this.
before this entirely, like you guys already knew it. Like you had that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it a while before, and then I mean, listening to the ADS whenever you guys first talked about it.
Okay, so yeah, like say it was all
But
good.
more
But,
importantly,
Yes.
This is where you come
Yeah.
to learn about things.
see, we were talking about that. That's true, but to some extent, it's also entertainment. It's infotainment.
Infotainment. Almost a taint.
Yeah, sure. It's almost. I didn't make that word up, but
The infotainment. What was your word? You had a word.
I didn't have a word.
Yeah, you did. You had a word.
You did?
You
I don't
did.
recall
You made up a
it.
word. It was just like infotainment, but it was something else, and it was like your own little description of our podcast. I remember.
I don't remember what it was.
Come on.
It wasn't infotainment.
No, it was way better. It was more. It was edgy. It was something with edgy in it, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yes, it was. It was edgy, and it had some way. It had like yes.
That doesn't sound like
I
one
don't
word.
It was edgy or something. It was something. Yeah.
Edutainment.
Edutainment.
Yeah, it was edutainment. It was edutainment.
Yeah, it was. It was.
See,
Edgy.
edutainment.
All right. Well, Dab's away. I guess we got half an hour left, and then we're recording his show. Is the game plan? Hopefully, we'll have Cheesecake Lady in for that. If not, then surprise. We'll see what the hell it is.
We'll chop up that other thing. We'll see what that looks like. We can see if we can piece together.
Oh yeah,
people don't have to listen to a loud thing.
Oh yeah.
Break that up and make it into something better.
Cheesecake Lady can do phone 4 to 6, so that's what we will do. I will
Sounds
tell
awesome.
her. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay, so we got 5 minutes. We got to wrap this one in 5 minutes so we can record one with the Cheesecake Lady on the Skype.
that sounds amazing. So we're only gonna do an hour and a half.
We're only gonna do a half hour and a half.
Oh man.
You got anything?
Well, I thought this is the banter.
You want to banter for 45 minutes?
No, it's okay. We'll do that. We'll keep it real smooth. We have an intern now. Things are smooth.
KTI, what do you think?
I
How long
feel
should
like
we-
things are smooth.
This guy's been on point all day.
What a meme of the week. We can do some memes. Oh, we can pop up some things. Yeah, let's see. Get that thing working. Get
Okay,
that,
all
yeah,
right.
get
Talk
that-
while I'm doing it then. Talk with
yeah,
KTI.
get the thing working.
I don't know what
No,
your password is. I kind of
no,
do.
but you do, but you don't.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I
Everyone
thought.
knows it now. Everyone's seen it. They all
Yes.
saw me do it. They know I have to switch it up every week. Oh man! But no, I think you've been doing a great job. You're doing excellent. I literally was giving up. I was all, he ain't coming, and then all of a sudden,
Everyone was like, "Where's the intern?"
yeah, we already asked. We gave up, and then
Yeah, it's coming from skiing.
knocked-
It got a little late.
no, it was great. It was perfect. You knocked
You
out.
literally walked in as the theme song was playing.
Yep, and I think the news was there. We didn't even know it. I mean, that's amazing.
The beer was there.
The beer was there. The news was
Question
there.
in the chat room: Swordfish, is Bodie going to be on the show? The answer
We
is yes.
yes.
I've been in touch with Bodie, not constantly, but
Constantly.
we're talking.
Constantly.
He didn't disappear or anything. He's going to come out to Colorado and come on the show. I don't know if it'll be a live show or a recorded show. I don't know when that's going to be.
Behind a screen
But
or not?
can we announce who
He's gonna wear a
is going to
wizard.
be
Can
on
we get
the
him a
show?
wizard? We should get him a wizard.
I will
thing.
work on it.
Let's get him a whole
I
wizard
will
thing to wear.
work
'Cause he'll
on-
wear it, and then he'll be
He
looking
will.
so cool.
Can
Big
but
old wizard hat.
but
I
can we
think so.
announce who is going to be on the show?
No, who?
Who's coming out here with Mo?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I think it's gonna. What the dates? Look at the.
You want a calendar?
I need a calendar. Yeah.
Is it in
I
March
can't
or
make it.
April?
It's in March.
March. I believe you said it was March 8th he's going to be here, so that's Tuesday.
So it'd be the 9th.
Wednesday, March 9th, you want to do a special live show? I can't. I got to work.
We're doing because he's expecting to do a Wednesday show, so we're doing.
All right, we'll figure that out.
You plan that out.
We'll plan it out. We'll do it down at the place.
Which place is this?
That massive greenhouse.
The new place. Almost.
No, the massive greenhouse.
Can we? Oh, they want to do it.
They want to do it.
Well, let's do it all. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Boom. Massive greenhouse.
We're gonna go to this massive greenhouse that's like acres under glass.
I think it's 4 acres, right?
Something like that.
4 acres.
And we're bringing the illustrious
Rob Clark.
Rob Connell Clark, author of Hashish, Marijuana Botany.
Yep.
And the new cannabis and ethnobotany. Is that ethnobotany of cannabis?
We need to get a bunch of those copies.
I want them for the store. That's for sure.
That's 100%. Yeah, he's coming through. I think from the night. Like he's going to stay maybe through the weekend. So that'd be awesome.
Oh, that's cool. We can hang
out and do all sorts of crazy stuff. He'll be
here Friday. Do our Friday. Yeah.
We can do the banter.
We could drink red wine.
We'll drink red wine with Rob, and then we'll make the kid eat chocolate.
We'll go to the restaurant.
Yeah, we can do that too.
I'll get a babysitter.
It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. He's getting babysitters now. I'll get a babysitter. That's when it gets all nutty. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Have a Rob and Mo, of course.
Mo.
And
so line Mo up for us.
Mo is my compadre from when we were like 1 or something like that. I think our parents were hanging out, and so we I think at one point our parents were even going out for a little while. So we were literally brothers growing up. And he lived in he was born in Big Sur. Okay. And he lived in L.A. And so Big Sur was a sort of summer place, and L.A. was the real place where he went to school and everything. So he would, and they had a geodome on the property.
Sweet.
And everybody was cool, and it was back in the day when people grew and everybody was mellow, and then it got all rough and everybody had to hide and get all weird, and just he went through it all. So I got to see it all from kind of going out there with him. And what are you doing now? Trying to get cameras?
I'm trying to put your video up, man.
What's up with it?
I'm working on it.
It's harder than you think. So anyway, we grew up. He was pretty much my connection to the weed world, the real weed world, without knowing it. Growing up. Are you listening to our show live?
Yes, I'm listening to the show live, trying to upload to it.
Okay, well, turn down the volume a little bit, please.
All right, it's not working.
We'll
do it from the computer after.
All right. So we're gonna do another show now later. Or?
Wait.
Hey, I can get it off my phone.
All right. Well, keep talking about Mo. I'm sorry.
So anyway, Mo will be here with Rob, and Mo lived out in Amsterdam with me also, and that was the cool part with the connection now. It would be with the Sage being our sort of plant we worked on. He did all the sort of selection. He did it in his backyard, in a little tiny backyard area that
in Amsterdam.
Yeah, and he maxed it out. It was
grew
fun.
Outside in Amsterdam.
Yeah, to do his initial selection, and they did other indoors. He had little things going on, and he'll tell the whole story when he comes out. So I won't break it all down right now. But in reality, it was he was like many other people that we have on the show. The guy who didn't really want to, put his name out there.
Sure.
And, and I was always just I got a store, and I, of course, every time there's a cup coming around. So when, he's the guy who really developed Sage. And I take the name Sage Master now, and it's so funny because over the years it's just been the reality of, same as with AJ, same as with everybody, just keeping it rolling. Everybody's keeping it rolling, so you put your name to it, tag it up. But THC's always had it in seed form, and brought it to the masses. Whereas he had his little garage in his backyard, and he was scared to tell anybody. And it was kind of funny because now it's all the reality of coming over here is, he's got to be in the game now. He's been doing crazy stuff. I talked to him, and it's he sits on boards with DEA agents and stuff, and has to he's the pot grower who sits there and goes what the fuck am I doing here? So he'll come on the show, and he's a funny guy too. He's super funny.
Mo a lot.
Mo's real funny. He's real talented. He's one of those super talented guys. When I grew up, I was he can do anything. He plays guitar, or he fucking it's one of those guys who just had musical talent that he could just pick up any instrument and figure it out, and those kind of stuff. It crosses over when you're growing too. You know what I mean? When you have that sort of finesse or whatever, and then you put it towards that. So he's been struggling in Cali as far as, like the realities of just growing up, having kids. He's got 2 kids, so there are 3 kids now, I think.
That's like our new show that we were going to call it Grown Ups. That was going to be about being a grown up.
Yeah.
Sort of, to the extent that we are drinking at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
grown up.
But the beer has daytime in it.
It does say daytime on it, and
Yeah.
that does make me feel better about it. I can't lie.
Grown-ups, I like grown-ups.
Dude,
It's already
it's
done?
4:02.
So we're done?
We
No.
got to wrap. If we want to talk Cheesecake Lady.
Well, we got to wrap. Okay, but how long has the show been going on now?
It's been about an hour and
37 minutes.
It'll say it somewhere. 34 minutes.
See, it's not really a full show. That's what I don't like.
That's okay.
I don't like
That's
that.
all right.
I don't like,
Well,
I
then
like the
the-
unfull show thing. I'm not happy with that.
You're not happy with it.
I could banter for 5 days. I mean, I don't understand why we would have an unfilled show. It would make no
Because we
sense.
got to do Cheesecake Lady now.
Why does she have to? Well, she can only do 4 to 6.
Yeah, she lives in the mountains. That's what
But
she's
then we can do an
about.
hour and a half because 2 hours of the Cheesecake
See.
Lady might be too long because we need to fill up with commercials and banter to fill up the actual show. So we need to double. We can do 2 solid hours.
We could.
If
do
she can
two-
go till 6, that's perfect. So we'll do it. I can banter, like I said, I can banter with the big.
I
With the
don't
best
know
of,
if
I can
anyone wants to
banter
hear us banter, but I think
I can banter with the best of them.
I think
Well,
they
we can get it grow. We can get all growy.
get
get all growy.
growy.
Let's get growy.
The viewership's plummeting. I'm
No.
watching them die.
Are they?
Yes,
No, they're not.
Died on the vine.
You lie all the time on this thing. You're such a liar.
It's right here. We're both looking at the same number.
Yeah, you're sitting. It's a perfect number. 69 is my favorite number. That is. You're sitting at my favorite number. Now I know. I can watch more. We need to tell more friends. We need more. How many? What?
Yeah, did you even have a full beer?
No, I only drink like 3/4.
I had more beer than you.
I'm not drunk.
You're loosey goosey.
You just get a little loosey goosey. That's the show, right? You don't want to be not loosey goosey on the show.
I don't
Tighty
know.
whitey on the show. What's going on over here? Come on now. So, okay, the
Cannabis Cup.
Whew, yeah. What about it?
Your thoughts? I just read the articles.
My thoughts are it was awesome that it was going to be in Pueblo and it was only going to be 3 days and everyone's going to go down there and it was going to be. I wouldn't say it would be bad. It could be really cool, but it would definitely be like long and hard, and it won't be like the easiest thing in the world, just because of the parking and the traffic and the who knows what. You know what I mean? Like the combo of everything just seems like a lot to ask. But at the same time, I was totally willing to go experience it, and I think a lot of people were. But moving the dates is going to get it a little bit infected, like to the point where people have like accepted it and didn't change any tickets and didn't change their hotels, but now they have to because it's a fucking can't just be
They were
there
like,
the wrong
fuck
day.
it, yeah.
So now it's like, well, what do I do? Do I move it and possibly not happen, and then I have to? So everybody, if they're smart, they're going to move it and they're going to put some sort of a security on it that they can take it out and explain to the people of why. And if they have to pay an extra $100, like say, like I'll lose $100 if I have to, because it's better than not changing that and then losing all of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying people are going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people who have booked
And
seven,
people
would- yeah,
seven
yeah,
hotel
yeah.
rooms. Say if
Yeah.
you book 7 hotel rooms for all your friends because you kind of
Or your whole crew or whatever,
and
yeah.
and now you're like calling the place and they're like, oh, non-refundable.
Yeah.
If there's any way to obviously like put down whatever it is to make sure you can either refund it or fucking do something, because now is the time to do it because it's about to get crazy. People are going to go if they do it like this and say 3 days later or a week later. What is it going to be? 3 days later? 2 days later?
It's going to be on 4/22.
Yeah,
and
that
then
weekend.
and then it would be 4/22, 4/23.
What day is the weekend?
I think 4/20 is the Wednesday.
Yeah, 4/20 is on a Wednesday, of course.
Yeah.
It's
Because
on
that's
Adam
our
Dunn.
day.
Adam Dunn.
We
show.
own 4/20.
Yeah, we own that day. So,
4/23 is a Saturday. 4/22 is a Friday.
so it'll be 4/22, 23.
They were
24.
very respectful. They moved it for ADSI,
Yes.
so we didn't have conflicts with competitors trying to do their booths and attend ADSI. So we greatly appreciate it. To all of our friends over there, Trans High Corporation.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Thank you.
Now they can all come. We'll offer that for them. Come on through. Yeah.
Oh,
See how it's really done.
chat room questions.
Chat room questions.
1. Will there be an update show with Mr. Soul of Brothers Grimm as they're building up for a release? Yeah,
Sure.
we'll get him and
Yeah,
Duke
we should.
Diamond, who's his partner.
Yeah.
We'll get both of them on. Yeah, Mr. Soul lives in my town. It's no problem. We can get him. If that's what you want, Jack, I will get him.
We will get him.
We will get him.
You will.
Whatever.
I'll take all the credit.
Whatever.
No, you will.
No,
I'll take
it's
the
okay,
credit.
whatever.
That's how I do it.
Croptober live show on 420. Yeah, baby. Live show on 420.
Of course.
The Adam Dunn Show Invitational Awards Show.
Live
Show. So you'll be there with the winners, competitors.
Interviewers, thingies, people, stuff.
Whatever those are.
Whatever those could be. We got to make like a thing that we can set up at places that we can interview people and make it quiet. Like we need a little sound booth.
I thought we needed a boxing ring, you said. That was the last thing that
with a sound booth below it so we can talk.
Sound booth below a boxing ring built into a booth that you can sell stuff at is what you said.
Yeah. And smoke, and smoke, and smoke out of
If
them.
anyone who's listening right now
And smoke out of them, of course. What's that?
If anyone's listening right now and can build us what Adam's describing, that is a boxing ring with a table in it, which is built above a soundproof booth.
Yeah.
That has around it an area for vending that's somehow 10 by 10 and fits in a normal trade show booth. Contact us and we'll make it worth your while.
It's gonna be awesome. We have to get 20 by whatever. But that can be a 10 by 10. Could do it.
Could do it.
10 by 10 studio is possible. I've seen worse. We are in worse. Well, no, we're in my house.
Well, right now, there's actually pretty spacious. I like this a lot.
It's spacious, but it's my house.
The
so
lighting is good. This is great. Most people who do podcasts and stuff do it just like this.
Yeah, because they don't do it in the
because they don't
dark
pay
of a basement.
$6,500 rent.
Who does that?
We do.
Not yet. We're about to. But that's why we need sponsors. Cause
yes, that is why we need.
That's why we love sponsors. Like, should we do another shout out? Dude, like it's almost
stack them up. Maybe we can keep going. Yes, shout outs. Go.
Well, that's the way to segue. We didn't segue at the right time last time.
Smooth.
So let's segue smoothly this time. Not like crappy segue, but right past it.
Just this whole segue train wrecked. The thing about a segue is if you mention it,
it's over.
If you acknowledge it,
yeah,
it's weird. It's like Vampire's Reflection or something. I don't know. There's
Schrodinger's
cat.
That's what
it's like Schrodinger's cat. What? No, yes.
What's that even mean?
Schrodinger's cat is that experiment that the cat's both alive or dead until you observe it.
I don't know about that.
It's famous.
That sounds
yes,
scary.
It's quantum physics. It's very scary.
That sounds terrible.
Schrodinger's cat. You can look it up. It's real. It's mathematically proven.
It's mathematically proven?
What? Yes, it's
your cat can die or something?
No. So there's an experiment that if you use this particle that has a 50-50 chance of whether it decays or not, okay?
What is it?
That's a normal, like a radioactive
is it
particle.
hemp?
No. And if it decays, there's a machine that will detect it and kill the cat, right? But there's a 50-50 chance. That cat is simultaneously alive and dead until a human looks or something observes it. I guess a camera can observe it, and that counts. But that's when the waves collapse. So basically both possibilities are happening simultaneously until someone interacts with it. That's Schrodinger's cat. And that's like a segue.
No, that's a ridiculous segue.
No. That's so
worse than mine. That's so worse than me.
I'm not saying that's a good segue, but I'm saying a segue is similar. If you don't acknowledge it, it moves perfectly. But as soon as you see it, it's dead.
Right.
You can't be like, oh, segue. You can't mention that it's segueing. Much like a bank robbery. You can't mention it's a bank robbery when you're doing a bank robbery. It ruins the whole thing. Okay. Adam Dunn, are we doing segue?
We are segueing.
Into what? This is a terrible segue. That's my point.
We were segueing to it, giving our sponsors one more shout out because that's what we do around here. We'll just do real short ones though.
Do it.
Well, we'll start with
Spring Hill Jack. Not everyone knows about Schrodinger's cat. Adam didn't know.
No, I didn't know
about Schrodinger's cat.
Everybody knows about Schrodinger. No,
yeah, that's not.
I see. I don't study that crap.
No. Well, you know why people know? Because Robert Anton Wilson, Illuminatus trilogy. That guy. Yeah. His book. He has a Schrodinger's cat book.
Yeah.
So that's where I look at it.
That's where I'm at. Now you ruined. Yeah, you ruined.
What?
My way to grow.
I ruined your way to grow? Yeah. I'm going to segue that. I was about to segue that.
That was not a segue.
If you want to learn about growing.
Not killing cats. Shredding them. It's like of shredding cats.
No, not shredding cats.
Shredding cats. That sounds terrible. It's not anything to do with
you want to learn
how to grow.
about growing.
Not sure.
You can go to Way to Grow or waytogrow.net. They have a lot of great grow
There you
resources
go. Let's just hit their websites.
Pesticides.
Boom.
Yeah,
We'll just do it straight to websites.
You don't have to narrate the fact that I'm doing that. You can go right to waytogrow.net. You can learn a lot about IPM, fertilization, and of course in the stores, very great resources of knowledge. They know a lot about their products and have a wide range of products, both what I like to think of as the hardware and software of growing, the fucking fixtures and stuff, and also your nutrients. They got good stuff for making organic teas. They got the Vortex Brewer. They actually have a really good, thorough organic section. A lot of places it's just a little shelf, but they have a legit organic section. And of course, when you go there, mention the Adam Dunn Show. And for what they don't have a Way to Grow or stuff you need in bulk, or if you want it direct from the source, mix your own, check them out at Build a Soil. Our good friends Jeremy Silva and crew are serving up the best soil ingredients, tea ingredients. You want to make your own worm farm? That's the place to go. You want to start composting? Just call Jeremy. He'll teach you so much just because he loves it and he cares. You can check them out, of course, at buildthesoil.com. And if you're here in Colorado, go by your local dispensary and ask for Incredibles edibles. Adam's favorite edible.
My favorite.
My favorite edible.
Everybody's favorite.
KTI, what's your favorite Incredible? Oh, take your dab. See, you could be dabbing Incredibles Black Label. That would be good.
That would be way better than what I gave him.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it was my old crap.
I got you.
Makiba Bar, you gotta stay healthy, right?
Makiba Bar, KTI's favorite.
Oh,
You gotta stay healthy, right?
That's why he's like exactly on time with beers in his hand.
Because he has Makiba bars?
Because that keeps you sharp.
Although I saw that at Black, was it
Otherwise,
Dark Cherry or Black Cherry?
That's a new one. That's a new one, yeah.
I haven't tried that.
We are going to get some of those to try. I guarantee. We have to give a call.
You guaranteeing it?
I'm going to guarantee. You don't trust me now?
I don't.
We've
never gotten bars.
I know.
Unless I've just never gotten them.
No, we never got them.
Okay.
So.
Get it. Make it happen.
I will.
Okay. Big shout out, of course, to Dark Horse Genetics. You'd be better off also dabbing Dark Horse concentrates. Either the shit or the live resin.
Bring that shit.
You saw that shit, right?
No, yeah, I saw it.
You saw the slabs, right?
Saw it being made.
Yeah, gorgeous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tanner did some great work.
Well, didn't have to go far.
No, that was it.
Didn't travel. That's an
No, it went right from... Oh, it's ready? Okay, cool. Throw it in there. Let's blast it. Grind it up.
Yeah, it was rocket fast, which I mean, that's kind of the key with everything with any kind of concentrates is just moving quickly, and you'll see that stuff, just the things you'll never see if you wait around for a week or two longer, and that's changes everything. So especially with the live resin, obviously.
Right,
and
of course.
Coming
Not
from,
even an option there.
Yeah, and coming from, you can totally ruin the shit in a real short amount of time when you cut it.
Right.
And so, but having the freezers right there and being able to cut and run
and then go right from the freezer
and vac
into
it
the
out
extractor
before you actually put it into the thing, so it doesn't get any kind of crystallization on the inside. Those little steps really make a huge difference, which is nice.
Yes, sir. And Dark Horse did that. Again, Tanner from AU ran everything, and just beautiful. And of course, it's the Dark Horse OG, Juliet. There's some Otis in there. I think there's some Scott's OG. Like I said, a very OG heavy haul. There were some interesting flavors in there too. The Gorilla Glue, of course, really
some
really
lemony
nice.
thing or whatever.
Well, that stuff's coming next round. The Joe's Lemonade.
Okay.
That's gonna. That stuff. I'm not even gonna start hyping those flavors yet.
Until you see them. Okay.
No, I've seen them. You've seen them. They're phenomenal. The Foul Mouth. We got a lot of really, really nice stuff. But I'm just saying what's about to hit shelves and be available. Again, that Dark Horse OG, Juliet. Those are the two that are definitely I've seen. I sat there and wowed at them for a while. So yeah, ask your local shop. Dark Horse Concentrates. On that note, guys, we're going to cut off. We're going to get with Cheesecake Lady and record ourselves a show for you guys to check out on Wednesday. And we will see you next Friday. Everybody have a great weekend, great week. Adam, you want to do shout-outs?
For sure.
Oh, wait, KTI. Would you care to do any shout-outs?
I also forgot Seeds Here Now, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Seeds Here Now. Seeds
Here Now. Sorry, I'm not used to it. Yeah, Seeds Here Now.
I know, you're not used to it. It's hard to press.
I'll get you.
It's hard to throw money at the Jew when he doesn't even dance.
So racist. So racist. As racist as the kid.
I know, but only in that one
No,
regards.
only in that one regard.
Just to make fun of you. I mean, we have to make fun of you in something.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be
You,
racist.
it rhymes with things, and we gotta say you. We can't say you all the time.
Can't say don't be a Mitch. What about don't be a Mitch? That was great.
Oh, you like that? Don't be a Mitch.
It doesn't.
You didn't make you feel bad.
It's not racist.
Makes you feel kind of,
well, I've never seen the show.
Towards
I've never seen the show, so it doesn't bother me. I'm sure once I see the show, I'll be like, "Oh man, that hurts my feelings. I'm so salty."
No, you would not be that happy.
Try saying Gorilla Glue in that really bad Chinese racist accent. I've tried it before. I'm not even going to do it on air. Not only because of the racism, but because it's hard.
What, Gorilla Glue?
No, because you got to make the R and L. Galera Glue. Galera Glue. That's how you got to do that. All right. On that note, I really don't want to end it on that. KTI, shout-outs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, CannaCon. I got to talk about CannaCon real quick.
What?
Damn.
Boom.
CannaCon.
That was awesome. You're
taking this right till 4:20. We got 2 minutes
Yes.
till 4:20. I'm trying to wrap up 4:20.
No, I push that push. I push.
You push. 4:20 is the perfect time.
I know. We're about to quit. We're about to be off the. So no, CannaCon was good fun. It was just say thanks to everybody out there. It's actually a pretty good event. The only crazy part about it, it's on fucking federal land, so everything about it is like weird because you can't smoke outside and they can't even have to. It's kind of weird, but it was good fun. Hopefully they can recap over here because they really screwed up over here. They had like 350 people walk through the one over here.
At the CannaCon?
Yeah. So hopefully if they come over here, they better work with some big names.
Or maybe Colorado's just up for it, man. Maybe High Times is going to leave. CannaCon's going to leave.
Could be.
Maybe they'll leave us alone and let us just grow our weed.
Maybe.
Dusty old cow town.
Oh, man.
Oh, cowboys in Colorado. You're from Colorado, right, KTI?
Then we'll be in Oregon. Then we'll be Oregon,
kind of.
guys.
You're kind of from Colorado.
Been here for a while.
All right, do your shout-outs. We got to go. It's 4:19.
Yeah, shout out to our friends and family. Justin and Nikki for being awesome, and my friends who just got done skiing with, and the guys at Tio Cali Tamale for making good burritos up in Crested Butte.
See, that's great.
Boom. He knows how to do it. We don't do these. I mess up every time. What?
You do a great job.
Shout out to my beautiful wife, Cece, who is out with Nick, and they're off to see museums and cool stuff and libraries while we take over the entire house, drink beers in the afternoon, break all the rules, just like Papa does. So when he sees the show, I'll be like, yeah, Papa drinking beer. Like, he knows.
He knows.
He knows what I like.
It's part of the show.
Shout out to my mom, Ace, down at the farm. Holding it down, running through the whole winter, man. It's getting down to propane
down there a lot.
I'm down there 3 times a week, it seems like.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Propane. I feel like total Trailer Park Boys down there.
Nice.
Like propane. That's all we do. That's all we do is propane now.
Propane. You? No, you're more? No, that's it. You're done?
Oh, there's a lot more. I can't.
You thank all the little people. Obviously, thank Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
No.
Nope. Thank you to the apps. The Apple App Store.
Thank you for the time wasted that I've done.
Amazing. A whole week.
Just check on the Adam Dunn show.
Oh, it's a good reason to go on the Facebook group.
Go on
we'll
the
post
Facebook.
them all there.
Most of them are there.
Okay.
Not most of them. I can't do all of them because some of them are just too bad.
They're all great. Put the Cyber Turkey up and everyone will be happy.
All right. Cyber Turkey?
Cyber Turkey for sure, and then the President.
Okay.
Those
I
are
don't know
my
about the
favorite
President.
two. Yes,
you think that was good? I don't think that's so good.
Good, bad.
All
right, guys.
It's really bad.
We will catch you.
2 minutes.
Oh, shout out, of course, to my beautiful wife, Reese.
Don't forget your shout.
Amazing and sick little kiddo, Farron, who is actually starting to feel better, but now Reese is not feeling good. So I'm going to go home and probably have soup or something, or meat.
What? Meat?
Yeah, the kid likes meat. She goes, meat. She likes soup and meat.
No.
Yeah, she loves
Nick does not like meat.
Nick, because he lives with people who don't like meat.
He doesn't like meat.
Yeah.
No, we've given him the option many times.
I know that. I was actually telling Reese that the other day.
I said deer everything option to him. All sorts of good stuff.
So I will say this, though. We tell Farron like that, she knows that the butcher cuts animals into meat. We're not trying to hide what it is. Like it's an animal, just like a cow. Like that cow there that goes moo, the butcher cuts that and makes it into meat. So she knows. She has the choice. If she rejects it, I'm totally intent to respect
Nick
it.
might reject me. He might just go eat hamburgers in my face.
Bacon cheeseburgers all up in your grill.
All up in my grill and be like, what are you doing? Like, are you kidding me? All right. Later, Nick.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Let's dial up Cheesecake Lady.
Dial her up.
Dial her up. Take care. Peace. Boom. Boom.